Pub Sports Radio is very excited to announce the dates for Pubba Palooza 4. The most exciting weekend of the gambling year. Round 1 of March Madness. It's all going down in San Antonio, Texas at the Southtown 101, Thursday the 20th till Sunday the 23rd. It's going down, baby.
Scheduled events every day that weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all going down in Southtown 101. Come hang out with some of your favorite Pub Sports Radio personalities.
I can't wait. Meet us in Texas, baby. It's going down.
Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for Pub Sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Upgrade your membership to gold. You will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Pat Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Kengan. Kenny Kengan wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Red Small make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Kengan, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97. Home. That is why here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian, Billy Friedrich. Jones one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
Leche. Hey, little bookmakers. Here we go.
Started from the corporate Peter Loshak, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a dawn. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this but they quit the trip. Though we say we be pubbing, betting with the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Leche.
Yo, everyone. Well, there we go. Right there. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. I guess, yeah. So I don't get to bullshit and be annoying for 5 minutes. How you
What's going on,
doing,
Loshak?
Wait,
I didn't know. Doing good, buddy.
Are you on time crunch right now?
No, we got a little golf we're throwing in here, so we're starting to get after it early.
Yeah. Hey, where's Jose Bouquett? Well, Jose Bouquett, drop in. Drop in for just 1 second. Where's Jose Bouquett? Oh,
yes, Peter. Hello.
Hey, Pete.
Okay. I'm just. What is this curveball that was thrown to me? Usually I'm on the screen by myself. Now I'm seeing Gogi. It's okay. I don't mind.
I'm just here to conserve time, Pete.
Oh, now everyone's like, oh, let's keep a brisk pace. No, okay, but wait, Gogi, do you have to leave at a certain time?
Yeah, 11:40.
So we got to do golf and the entire 10-game NHL card in 45 minutes.
Well, brisk pace. We were known for that. So
All right. Okay. Let's get into it. Well, I'm not going to say anything, of course, to everyone in the comment section right now. You just heard why we're keeping an incredibly brisk pace right now. Huge shout out to everyone. Read your sharp picks. Everyone. All right, let's get into it. We'll do NHL first, right, Mr. Gokster?
let's do it, buddy.
All right, everyone, tell us what you think about all these games. First game on the card, Edmonton, Boston. There are a few NHL games that I bet on today's card. This is a tough one, though, because, of course, Edmonton mostly rolling. Hard to bet against them in any situation, right? They do seem more mediocre on the road. Boston, of course, the coaching change helped them a lot, but now they've suddenly lost 4 in a row. 3 of those were on the road. Last one was an OT loss at home. So in general, they're better at home. Now they're a dog. Edmonton is legit tough, kind of a low line. And, I don't know, when Boston is trying to do better, they tend to be defense-oriented. So even though Edmonton has a lot of scores, I was thinking maybe first period under. And as far as the line is concerned, I don't know. It's a very low line. Scary to fade Edmonton, but it's clearly a bounce-back spot for Boston. What do you think, Gogi? Hey, Gogi, we're trying to conserve time here. That means talking without audio.
On the mute button there.
There we go.
Having fun today. Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
All right. So
this team your seconds balance, not mine. All right, go ahead. Go.
Okay. Let me go. Bruins lost 4 of the last 5, 0-3 on the road trip, then lost the Islanders on Sunday. Pete's right. They play a lot better at home. Beat Columbus. A big deal, right? 4-0 against Columbus. Beat Washington 4-1. Good against Buffalo. Like Pete said, though, rough time on that road trip. 5, 6, 2, 3 goals allowed. They've been allowing a little too many goals, in my opinion, too, Pete. And you're going up against an Edmonton team, guys. 11-3-1 in the month of December here. 33% power play, 86% penalty kill. This team's humming, Pete. Won the last 3 games, too. Second game of a road trip here. 4-game road trip for them. They got Kane still out, but this team's healthy. Give me the Edmonton Oilers here. It's going to be in a money line parlay. They're minus 148 right now. I got it with another team coming up, Pete.
Yeah, and that line has moved in their favor. The first line I saw was Boston around plus 120 or so it's moved about 10 or 15 cents in Edmonton's favor. And what do you think about the under? It's just scary to take unders with Edmonton.
I would be looking at the under. Skinner's been playing really strong the last few games. He's like 11-10, 11-1 or 11-2 in his last few games there, guys. He's playing really good hockey. But Korpisalo, I don't know if it's going to be Korpisalo or if it's going to be Swayman here. Let me just quickly go to the confirmations of the goalies here. Because if it's going to be Swayman,
it is Swayman.
Okay, I feel a lot better for that under on Swayman because looking at Korpisalo, 3+ goals in the last three of the last 4 games for Korpisalo, so he has been cheeks. But Swayman, I would definitely be looking at an under. Boston team total under even here. No goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds makes even some sense here too. Special teams though, heavy advantage for Edmonton tonight.
Yeah, I would love to take the first period under. What would you prefer, first period under, or because a lot of times you can have like a 1-1 first period and then it goes. It's just
full game
or goes late. You know what I mean?
I would do full game because Boston's coming off that bad. 4 games in a row. They could come out a little hot here. But as the game goes on, I would expect the goaltenders here should shine. But early, I would be maybe a little weary if Boston comes out strong to start. But I expect Edmonton.
Yeah, all right.
To win.
I'll take it. This is very borderline for me, but I'll throw it on. I'll throw on a lot of plays. I'm going to take the full game under, and I will go to 6.5 at -140. So I'll take under 6.5 -140. It's 6 roughly even everywhere else. All right, let's move on. Gogi, next game on the card, Ottawa, Detroit. This is an interesting one. Okay, again, Ottawa struggling on their current road swing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lost 4 of their last 5, and they're not scoring. However, looking deeper into it, Ottawa did actually have a long break, so they went home, and now they're going back on the road. But it hasn't been a continuous road trip for Ottawa, so maybe that little break home helped them. Detroit, though, of course, coaching change, doing great. They've won 4 in a row. They're suddenly playing with life. They beat some good teams. They're off a big road dog at Winnipeg. So I was a little bit surprised to see Detroit as a home dog here to Ottawa. So I was leaning Detroit. But the more I thought about it and looked into it, I actually took the over, and I think I beat a little bit of a move. I got over 5.5 at just -118. Now it's up to 6. I think Detroit will, if they don't win, they'll at least put up some goals. And Ottawa should be able to be a little bit better offensively than they've been recently. So definitely leaning Detroit as a home dog if they still are. And I did actually bet early on the overnight lines, the over at 5.5. What do you think?
I do like that over, Pete. Looking at some of the injury report, though, Ottawa's got some guys out. Jensen's out, Amadio, Allmark, Perron, Hamonic, and now JBD, which is a defenseman. Called up a couple guys here from Belleville. So they have had a chance to go home. Reason why they're on that long road trip, too, Pete, because the World Juniors is in Ottawa since the last 2 weeks. So they've that's why they've been away. But USA, shout out to the Americans. They won the World Juniors a couple days ago. And Brady Tkachuk, they would have probably been there for that game. Momentum, I don't know how much momentum is going to be in their favor just because they're so banged up right now. And then looking at the Red Wings, they've won their last 4 games, scoring four plus goals. So the over does make a lot of sense, Pete. I like that play. I end up taking the Detroit money line, though, plus 100. I think the Red Wings are playing strong enough hockey. They're going to get Ottawa tonight. And also Forsberg first came back from an injury where he allowed 4 goals. We don't know who's going to be in net. They have Merlainen. They have Sogard from Belleville, 2 goalies that are not going to stop many pucks. So Forsberg first came back in a hot Detroit team. It feels like a lot of goals and Detroit win.
I'm just worried that coming back from that road trip where they won both games, and the last one was a big win over Winnipeg, maybe they'll be a little bit lackadaisical. I mean, we saw that with Boston when they had their coaching change. They were awesome to start, but then, they sort of start to get a little bit sluggish.
Yeah. That's true. I still think I'm just going to ride. It's kind of what I did with Edmonton. I'm just going to ride these hot teams right now, middle of the season. And then Ottawa here. I think those injuries, and then JBD went out yesterday. I think it's a tough spot here. They are 9-5-1 in December, but I think this is a Detroit spot.
Yeah, and also, Ottawa has. I'm sorry, the line moved in Detroit's favor a little bit. So the injuries for Ottawa overall, do you think that helps scoring or it helps the under?
No, it helps the under. I would say, if anything, it would help because their bottom 2 lines is not like it's Cousins. Wow, you got Josh Norris on the 3rd line, Adam Gaudette, Cole Ranoff, they called up, Zach Ostracek, and Noah Gray. So that 4th line's probably not going to do a whole lot. Just got to pretty much not allow. Whenever you have guys called up, sorry, I'm butchering this, but whenever you have guys called up, they're just trying to not make mistakes, in my opinion here. So Reinhart, Ostracek, some of those bottom 2 players, they're just going to try not to mess up here. And then looking at those top 2 lines, yeah, they're strong. Detroit's healthy. The big thing, though, I didn't bring up, but I want to really quickly here is Lyon's last 3 games. He's only allowed 2 goals. He's been 3-0. He's playing really good hockey right now, and I do expect it to be Alex Lyon in net. So that's another reason why I like Detroit.
All right. Shout out to everyone in the comments section. Shout out to Corey Mack. Shout out to Nasty Nate. Nasty Nate might be going to AC pretty soon. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Oh, just shout out to Nate.
All right. So I don't know what to, I want to take Detroit. I want to take the team total over. I'm just going to take the full game over 5.5 -122.
I like that.
That'll be frustrating. But Detroit could easily win it like 3-1 or 4-1.
This is the thing, though. If it's Talbot, I'm seeing here possibly Talbot. If it's Talbot, the over looks even better. And I'd be a little more worried about my Detroit play. But I have Lyon here expected, and he's playing solid. So,
all right, I'll take. All right, what the hell? I'll add on the Detroit team total over as well. 2.5 -149. And I will take the full game over also. So 2 plays there. All right, let's move on. Everyone in the comment section, tell us what you think. Tell us what you think. Dallas Rangers. And this is going to be a pass for me. It'll be interesting to hear how you break this one down, Mr. Gokster. Dallas obviously rolling, right? Winning close ones as a big favorite. So they're a great team, getting win after win, low scoring. Games are tending to go under. They're not really winning by margins, so a lot of 1-goal, 2-goal wins. And the Rangers, what's up with them? Struggling. They had it looked like their season was about to be just mailing it in. They are off a big 6-2 win at Chicago. They did beat Dallas at Dallas on December 20th. They were a big road dog there. So I don't know. Maybe it's a Dallas revenge spot. I don't know if Dallas really cares in that way about going into the Rangers and avenging that loss. But Dallas a small favorite here. And I would also be leaning under, although I think Quick might be in goal for the Rangers. And if that's true, maybe I don't like the under. But I was thinking about the under. Quick makes me nervous. And maybe Dallas, I don't know. But they're getting a lot of wins, but they're not winning by margin. So, and then not sure what to make of the Rangers. What do you think, Gogi?
Yeah, the special teams for these teams in December, Pete, they've been really bad. 11% for Dallas, 9% for the Rangers. So not a lot of scoring on the special teams. 92% penalty kill for the Stars, 78% for the Rangers. So slight special teams advantage to the Stars. But Domingue, guys, he played the last game. Louis Domingue, kind of a journeyman, won his last game with the Rangers 6-2. But in the AHL, Pete, he's 4-9-2. So he's got a pretty poor record in the AHL. He had that one good game against Chicago, which is one of the worst teams in the league. So you're going to definitely want Quick going where he got lit up.
Quick is likely, I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'd expect Quick. He got lit up, though, for 6 in his last game against Washington. 3+ goals in the last 2 of the last 4 games for him. So I expect a lower scoring game. I really do. Kreider's out, though, and Shesterkin. Like, you're missing a couple big name players there. Marchman and Sagan, a couple big name players for Dallas as well. But I'm still gonna trust Dallas here. Kind of like my last 3 plays, really, guys. I'm riding the hot teams here. I think Dallas I just think the Rangers are in a bad spot. Quick too, coming off that bad game. Can he have a bounce back? Yes, but the Rangers just aren't scoring. Special teams are not doing anything. Their first win, scoring 4 or more goals. They're having trouble stopping the puck. This feels like a Dallas spot. So I'm not going to talk too much about this game, guys. Plus 165, 2-team banger with the Oilers. Edmonton and Dallas, Pete, plus 165.
Okay, I will take a shot with the under. It's 6.5 minus 113. We're going to need Quick to be okay. How bad does he suck right now?
If they need Quick, it's hard to say because Shesterkin's been their main guy, but ever since he went down, I have his numbers right here. 6 goals against Washington, 1 against Boston, 1 against Tampa, 5 against the Devils. A couple home starts, though. He's been much better at home. Shutout against the Kings. That's in 34 minutes, though. Then he allowed 6 against Seattle back on the 12th of December. So it's tough to say. I would lean towards Ottinger having a strong game here. I don't think the Rangers are going to score much. They've had troubles, really. Yeah, they scored 6 against Chicago, but should be much tougher tonight against Ottinger in their defense. So give me the Stars.
All right. I'll take a shot with the under, and also line has moved from first line out, from the early line, moved like 25 cents in Dallas's favor. So a big move in favor of Dallas. It does feel like a Dallas spot, but I'll just take the under here. All right, next game on the card. You ready, Gogi?
Yep, love it.
This one I did bet. You tell me if you think I made a mistake here. Columbus and Pittsburgh. Columbus have had a pretty good read on. Of course, that they're not a good team, but they're an okay team. They're better offensively, better at home, worse on the road. So they, they've been playing well recently, but their 2 road games, even in their last run of winning, were both losses. Pittsburgh, I've also had an okay read on. They're off a road. They're kind of similar to a Columbus, kind of a very flawed team, but not terrible. And they will get you wins in good spots, also beatable in spots. They're off a road trip. Their last 2 were OT losses as big dogs, and they also look like they're better at home. So I was thinking that Pittsburgh, that the Penguins are the play here, despite the big favorite line, and also leaning over. And so I did bet the Penguins team total over a little bit. I got minus 106, 3.5, and the Penguins money line take them -1 as well. Let me see where the line has moved. It was opened about almost like 145 or 150, and it's right where it was. So yeah, not much movement here. I think I'm liking the Penguins here. What do you think, Gogi?
Yeah, I would agree there, Pete. Coming off those 3 losses, all those games too, they've been allowing 3+ goals. So They got to get a little better goaltending here. On the other side, six of the last seven for Columbus guys have gone over the total. Merz Lenkins has allowed 3+ goals in 3 of the last 4 games. Yari 3+ goals in 2 of the last 4 games for him. So power plays too, 27% in the month of December for Columbus, 29% for the Penguins, 70% penalty kill for Columbus, 84 for the Penguins. Special teams, this feels like an overpeat. A couple injuries, Danforth, Shinnikov, Grabranson, Jenner. They've been out for a while, Jenner and Grabranson. Just Tomasino for Pittsburgh. They need this game to Pittsburgh. I would expect them to score quite a bit in this game, but I do think Blue Jackets are going to be able to keep up. More I'm thinking about this, more I'm thinking it is probably a Pittsburgh play. More we're talking it out. Only way it's not really, I think, is if Yari is susceptible again. They've lost 3 in a row. Just want to quickly bring up Yari's numbers here because big question to see is how many goals he's been allowing those last few games. And let's see here, 2, 5, 3, and 2. That 5 on the road, 3 against Philly, 5. You know what? The bounce back is in play for Pittsburgh here. I think you're right, Pete. I already fired off, though. First period, both teams to score +135. And then I fired off first full game, both teams to score 3 goals at +130. So I already played both those. I tweeted them out. They'll be coming on my Twitter, guys, about 11:40 Gogster99. So, I really like the first period, both teams to score +135. A little more nervous for Columbus to score the 3 goals to cash that other one, but I like Pittsburgh in that game.
Yeah, all right. I will. I'll make 2 plays here. I'll take the Pens -1 at +105, and then I want to add, maybe the Pens to score in the first period at -222, or the team total over 3.5 at like -110 or so. Or even just the first period money line.
It's your call, Pierre. That -220, it's a lot of juice, but I do think it's going to hit. Though, Pittsburgh scoring the first.
I mean, Columbus is. You know what? I'll just take the Pens first period money line at -131, and if it's 1-1, okay, that's fine. And I'll also take Pens first period -131, first period money line, and the Pens. Actually, what I should probably do is just take the Pens first period -0.5 at +165. But yeah, I'll just take the money line -131. Get a unit if they get it. Yeah, I should probably take -0.5 at +165. Let me just think here. But Columbus has a live. They can. Yeah. What should I do, Gogi?
I think Pittsburgh are going to win like 4-2, 5-3. They're going to score at least 4 goals in this game, I think.
Yeah. All right, I'll just take the Pens money line on the first period -131 and -1 +105. Glance the comment section, and then we will move on. Huge shout out to Red Girl. All right, next game on the card, Mr. Gogster, Carolina, Tampa Bay. Tell me what you think here. This is an interesting one. I didn't bet it, but I had some thoughts. Obviously, both of these teams, in theory, on paper, people think of them as excellent, but they have been really stinking up the joint recently. Carolina, game in and game out, really not good. They beat Pittsburgh in their last game, but that was an OT as a -200 favorite. They've been getting shut out and just not really winning. And Tampa Bay, of course, coming off a road trip where they were just not scoring. They scored 5 goals in the 4 games. They've lost 4 in a row. And I will say that in that Anaheim game, it seemed like maybe it was like a bounce back spot for Tampa Bay, but I didn't buy it. I did bet Anaheim and the team total over. Should have bet it bigger. I bet it medium sized, though. Anaheim, of course, is doing very well. We'll talk about them in a bit. But Tampa Bay clearly struggling. Carolina struggling. And I was thinking maybe lean under. And I was also thinking that maybe Tampa Bay at home is a better bet to bounce back than Carolina. But the line has moved in Carolina's favor. I'm still thinking about an under, though. What do you think, Kobe?
Yeah, the under does make sense. The special teams penalty kill, both these teams, 92% for the Hurricanes, 90% for the Lightning. So special teams on the power play shouldn't see a lot, especially the Hurricanes, 18% power play. Lightning are humming at 30% in the month of December. But goaltending is going to be the difference in this game, I think, Pete. Carolina's they've been win-loss the last few games. They're going back home for 3 after playing Tampa Bay on the road here. And then looking at the Lightning, they lost those 3 games on that road trip. Anaheim, LA, and San Jose. Not a good road trip for a team that should have at least won one of those games. Vasilevsky, 3 goals and only one of the last 4 games for him. So he has been playing good hockey despite them losing those last few games. At home, it's where you want Vasilevsky as well. Moser's defenseman, only player out for the Lightning. You got Carrier, Goss to spare, Yost, Foss, and then Anderson out for the Hurricanes. Still got pretty much their mainstays for the Hurricanes, but I think the goaltending is going to be the difference. Kochetkov hasn't looked good, guys. I got his numbers here: 3 against Minnesota, 3 against Columbus, 4 against New Jersey, 1 against the Rangers, 3 against the Washington. So he's been struggling a little bit of late. I do think the under is in play. No goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds even here. But I end up playing the Lightning, Pete, plus 100 here and a bounce back, I think, for the Lightning.
Yeah, I mean, the line from the early opener has flipped in Carolina's favor. Tampa Bay was on the early opening line, a small favorite. Now Carolina's the favorite. And then, I want to take the under, but, Tampa Bay plays high-scoring games at home, even with Vasilevsky.
Yeah, it's just the Carolina's defense isn't exactly they're not easy to play against. I'm just bringing them up right now. Slavin, Orlov, Chatfield, Burns, Ty Smith, like their top 4 defensemen here. They're pretty good. So I don't think it'll be too easy. Lightning also play good, two-way hockey. So I do like the under, but I think Tampa Bay get this one tonight.
All right, with both teams struggling, I think they will clamp on D a little bit. Once again, I'm going to go to 6.5. Under 6.5, minus 133, Carolina, Tampa Bay. Tempted to take first period under at plus money, but that can be so fluky. All right, we'll move on. I'll glance the comments section first. Shout out to Chill Will, Rez Mob. Sorry. Okay. Next game on the card, Mr. Gogster, Toronto and Philly. Now, this is, of course, second game of a home and home. Toronto won the first one. They are really rolling, right? They've won they're great on the road, won their last 4 road games. They've won 8 of 11, and Philly definitely slumping, right? First game was at Toronto. Toronto won 3-2 in that game. Do I trust Philly to beat Philly's a modest home dog here. I really don't trust Philly. I do kind of think we're going to have a higher scoring game here. So I did bet the over on this one a little bit. I would love to take a shot with the Philly team total over as well. So I'm leaning Philly team total over, leaning over. Don't really trust Philly to get revenge at home, even as a home dog here, and that's what I'm thinking. Again, second of a home and home, Toronto, Philly.
I'm in agreement with you, Pete. I actually took the full game over 6 minus 108. The goaltending the goaltending is very bad for the Flyers. Fedotov, however you want to pronounce his name, played 2 games since November 29th, so they don't trust him. Erson's hurt right now, so they got to go to Kolosov pretty much, who's just not right. I'll bring up his numbers here, guys, but they're really bad. He's allowed 5 fourths. He hasn't been he hasn't kept a team in the game. If they want to win a game, Flyers got to score 4 or 5 goals with Kolosov and net. If anyone in the chat here has a confirmation, even if it's a Feddy or Kolosov, they're going to struggle against a team like Toronto, guys. Wall too. He's 3 goals. He's only allowed 3 goals in one of the last 4 games. He's a better home goalie, but this Toronto team's just playing really good hockey right now. Allowed 2 goals or less in 4 of the last 6 games as well, Pete. They got a couple guys out, though. Holmberg, McCabe, they're day-to-day. Don't know if they're going to be in the lineup or not. Be a big boost if they are, but the line has moved towards the Flyers. So I'm not going to play the Leafs here. That's why I took the full game over. I do think they're going to have a better performance than the Flyers, but goaltending-wise, I don't see them being able to hold Toronto if they can hold them under 3 goals, that'd be very impressive. But I think Toronto's going to get at least 3 tonight. So give me the full game over 6.
All right, I'm going to take the over as well. I did bet it. I'll be a little safe. Instead of taking 6 at minus 104, I'm going to go to 5.5 minus 132. 5.5 minus 132. And I kind of want to take a shot with the Philly team total over as well. 2.5 at minus 147. You think Toronto's going to be able to hold them down? I mean, they kind of do play good defense, I guess. What on the road? What do you think?
I do. It's weird. The line's moving in Philly's favor, but I'm not too sure that's the play. I don't know if that's the play. That's the thing. Their special teams is 14% this month, 64% penalty kill. They're not an under team, that's for sure. This Flyers team, they've been a heavy over team, even with Tortorella, which must be driving the guy nuts. Tortorella's a defensive coach, but the over does make some sense. More I'm thinking about it, I don't know why the line is moving so much in the Flyers' favor, even if Holmberg and McCabe are out. I think the over's the play, though.
All right, well, I'll take the Flyers team total over as well. So I'll take the full game over, 5.5, -132, and Philly team total over 2.5, -147. These are all lines at a very sharp place I'm looking at. All right, next game on the card. You ready, Mr. Gokster?
Oh, I'm ready.
St. Louis, Minnesota. St. Louis lost to Columbus on their last game, but they had won 4 of 5 before that. And in general, they do have some life to them. They're a scrappy team. I was thinking about taking St. Louis at the early opening line that I saw was +140. I didn't. The line has moved strongly in their favor, but then I saw they also have some injuries that make me a little bit nervous. Then on the other side, you got Minnesota. They have suddenly won, a bunch of games in a row. They've won 5 of 6. They do seem to struggle at home, though, better on the road. So, I was looking at this scrappy St. Louis team. Minnesota maybe overvalued at home, even when they're winning. So I was leaning St. Louis team total over. But then when I saw, some of the injuries to St. Louis, I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. But it looks like it has moved a bit in St. Louis's favor. The first line I saw was about 140 or so, and now it's down to 110. So a massive move. Wow. It was the first a decent move. Now another decent move, like a 40-cent move from the initial opening line or so to St. Louis. What do you think? And and the total has crashed as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not really. It was always that low. Right. It was always a low total. Total hasn't moved, but it's a low total. Huge market move to St. Louis, though. What do you think, Gogi?
What's up, Joey? The big issue there is Kaprizov. Kaprizov's he's not in, Pete, and that's a lot of offense.
We knew that. We knew that, though.
Okay, yeah. So Kaprizov with Kokkonen, Spurgeon, Middleton. You're talking about the injuries for St. Louis there. Falks day-to-day, Fascoletti, Krug's been out for, it seems like years. But just looking quickly here, Wild have won 5 of the last 6 games, beating strong teams in Carolina, Washington, Dallas. But I don't necessarily trust it. Just looking at their numbers, Pete, 18% power play, 68% penalty kill. The Blues, too, aren't doing a whole lot, 19%, 64. But the goaltending is where it dictated my play here. Binnington and Gustafsson have only allowed 3 goals in 1 of the last 4 games. And then Binnington's had 2 shutouts in his last 4 games, and Gusty's has had 1. So both these goalies are playing really well. You don't have a lot of offense out there right now. St. Louis has been trending to the over, but I feel like this is the old Gokster special here, guys. No goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds, -105. I think the goalies will be strong enough. Even the full game under 5.5, I don't mind. But I think the goalies, they should shine here, Binnington and Gustafsson.
Yeah, and then I also saw that a defenseman for Minnesota, Jake Middleton, might be coming out, and his numbers were great before he was out at a +22 rating that I saw. So that made me nervous. All right, I'm going to hold off on this one. Huge move to St. Louis from the early opening line and a very low total here. So it's going to be a pass for me, and you're taking no goal first 10 minutes, Gogi?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's glance at the comment section and then move on. Oh, Ron Lofton says, I remember the first day I found Pete back in Costa Rica days. It was Jimmy's first show. Ron Lofton. I love
Ronnie. Miss you, Ronnie.
Oh, man. Shout out to Ron. Shout out to Nuke Worker. Everyone's in the comment section now. Yeah, people are, I don't blame them. They're like, I'm not going to tune in at 11 a.m. sharp. I don't want to see Loshak bullshitting around for 15 minutes. I wouldn't want to watch me bullshitting around 15 minutes, but now, today we had to start at minute 1 covering all these games. So huge shout out to everyone. Nut Flush 16. Shout out to you, Nut Flush. I'm going to fucking text you today about something. I don't even know what. Just about something. Let's see. I'm glancing at the comment section, and now let's.
Kenny Can quickly said Fedotov looks like he's in for Philly. That's over City in my opinion. Then Leon has been confirmed for Detroit, so I like that Detroit play.
All right. Nuke Worker says, I love watching you bullshit. But yeah, I don't think there's no one who would enjoy who wants to tune in and watch me bullshit 15 minutes, but it's a relatively low number of people. So I would think a majority of avid sports bettors would want to skip that. But shout out to you, Nuke Worker, and you will be able to, of course, bullshit with me in person, and I'll be able to hear your bullshit at Pubba Palooza. I don't know if Nuke Worker's going, but I'm looking forward to a Pubba Palooza this year. I hope you're going, Gogi. All right, let's move on.
Oh, damn right.
Enough bullshit here. Okay, enough bullshit because we have to talk about the Nashville-Winnipeg game. Okay. Maybe this is a good spot for Winnipeg. Nashville, shitty team, off of 2 wins now on their road trip. Are they turning it around? I don't know. Maybe not. They do have some youngsters who are starting to play better. This guy Svechkov is playing well. So the Preds, how much are they turning it around? And what do we expect from them going forward? I'm not exactly sure. Of course, Nashville had high expectations beginning of the year, completely fell short. terrible to start the year. Now they've won 2 in a row. And Winnipeg, obviously, awesome team. They can go on losing runs. They are right now off of 3 straight losses, last 2 as a home favorite of minus 200 in both of them, more than minus 200 in both of them. And so it's obviously a big bounce back spot for Winnipeg, unless Nashville has turned a significant corner. You know, when it was a bounce back spot for Tampa Bay against Anaheim, I bet Anaheim because they were at home getting a big dog line, but Anaheim's recent improvement was for real. When San Jose is not lethargic, their winning is for real too. Nashville's last 2 wins, I don't know. That's why we have you here, Gogi. What's your take on Nashville right now?
If you like Russian roulette, this is your team, Nashville. You don't know what you're going to get from them, to be honest, Pete. They have looked a lot better, but I think that guy you just talked about there, Fedor Svechkov, came up from the Milwaukee Admirals. He had 12 points in 13 games, and he got a young Russian. He looks like he's going to be pretty good. So I think that's what they need. They're kind of an older team, got a lot of new pieces that are older, but this is a tough play. I do think there's going to be a lower scoring game here in this game. I think the bounce back for the Jets, they lost to Colorado, Anaheim, Detroit, not looking very good. Offensively, they're fine. They're missing some key players on defense. So, well, not key players, but Sandberg and then Appleton there. Lazan, Novak, they're both day-to-day. And then Willsby, Cole Smith, who cares? I shouldn't say who cares about Willsby, but I'm not too sure about Willsby. Anyway, I'll skip about Willsby. Shouldn't even be talking about him this much.
Couldn't care less about Willsby.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I'm bringing up Willsby. I was going to hate him. I'm like, well, why don't I just move on about Willsby?
Willsby is a loser. Stop.
What a name, Wills. Well, I wish the best for him, but, he's not very good anyway. No goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds here is where I'm going to – it's a 6th straight throw game, though, for the Preds here. Like you said, Pete, they've won their last 2 games, winning when not allowing more than 2 goals to the Predators. So I do feel like it's going to be a lower scoring game. The Jets don't want to start going back and forth with teams. That's not how they win games. You got Hellebuck in net. He has had both these goalies have had 1 shutout in the last 4 games too. So I do like the no goal first 9 minutes, 30 seconds plus 115 here. Sidewise, I don't like touching anything to do with Nashville games anymore, Pete. Probably lost 10 units on this team this year. So going to be a pass on the side.
Yeah, Nashville, I probably lost a few units very, very early on, but very quickly I was like, okay, this team sucks. I don't care who they acquired in the offseason, what people are saying about him. We got movie ticket recaps saying Jets money line, Jets in regulation, Jets all day. And that is what I'm going to do. Again, Winnipeg actually did beat Nashville 3-0 very recently. And you look at their losses at Colorado, that's forgivable, right? Then they came home and lost to Anaheim and Detroit. Those 2 teams suck. No, they don't. Those are both forgivable, ironically. So I'm going to take a shot with Winnipeg here. I'm going to take a -1. I'll calculate it right now. It's going to be roughly even money. Winnipeg -1. It's going to be -104. I will take a shot with that. I wish I could double up in some way because, I do like Winnipeg here. Not that I'm down on Nashville, but I don't think they're at the level now on the road where they're going to be able to get in front of a team like Winnipeg that with Hellebuck in net. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Gogi?
I was just going to say, I think they're running out of gas, too. They've been on the road since the 27th of December. This is their 6th game on the road. They could be possibly running out a bit of gas, though they're 7-1, goals for, goals against their last 2 games. So it's a tough cap, this game for me. I do lean towards Winnipeg, though.
Yeah, and if they didn't have youngsters who were putting in goals, I'd be taking the Nashville team total under as well. But I'll just stick with Winnipeg -1, just one play for now. All right, moving on. Next game on the card, Calgary and Anaheim. And here we go. Calgary off of 2 home losses. Anaheim rolling, and they did it again, beating Tampa Bay in their last game after they had won a bunch of games in a row, and Tampa Bay had been losing. And yes, I made some horrible bets and calls in NHL, but I did have Anaheim in that Tampa Bay game and the team total over. The one thing that makes me nervous about this one, and Calgary, of course, off 2 home losses, they'll get some wins, kind of a crappy team, makes me a little bit nervous. This is that mom's trip, and I guess, for Calgary. So, they're going on the road and all the moms are going to be there in the stands, going, and I guess that
That's
helps.
my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like you can't, you're a professional NHL player and you can't play well unless your mom's in the crowd. But it does seem to matter. So I don't really want to take Calgary. I mean, I don't really want to take Anaheim here, even though they're a home dog going up against, a non-elite team, a very beatable team. And I do think Anaheim's success has been real. I've been betting into it. I don't know. I'd love to take. I was thinking over though. What do you think, Gogi?
This is the one game I have no action on. I almost did though play first period both teams and then 3 goals by both teams in this game. Wolf and Gibson, they've allowed 3+ goals in 2 of the last 4 games, and then it's a back-to-back too for the Flames. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's the only team, guys, that have a back-to-back tomorrow. So is it going to be Wolf? Is it going to be Darth Flater? I think it's going to be Wolf tonight. Who's been okay, but they've lost 3 of the last 4. 5 of the last 7 games have gone under the total though for Calgary. Ducks won 4 of the last 5 games, playing some of their best hockey all year, but the mom's trip, I'm telling you, man, it definitely does play a little bit of weight there for the Flames. Flames in the first period, possibly here, coming out strong, could be a play. But I got nothing on this game. Mantha, Kirkland are out for the Flames, and McGinn and Zegras are out for the Ducks. Not going to be a no play, guys. Slight lean towards the Flames with the mom's trip, which I was not aware of. Thank you, Loshak.
It is the mom's trip. But I mean, it's just how can Anaheim be a dog here? And it's moved in Calgary's favor. I can't believe it. I'm just seeing. I mean, just like a 5-cent move. But the first line I saw, I understand it's the friggin' mom's trip. But Anaheim was like plus 115. Now they're up to like plus 120. What's going on here?
Well, I'm just looking here quickly. The last four of the last 5 meetings, Calgary's won 5-1, 5-4, 3-0, 6-3. They've had this team's number the last 2 years. So, and then the mom's trip too. This team is playing well. That's the only thing. I have a lean towards the over here. I didn't end up playing this one. I didn't want to have too much. I already had 9 plays, but at least I didn't want to have 11. So I stayed off this game, but I do lean towards the over here in this game here, just because Anaheim's scoring right now. They're playing really well.
Yeah. Is there either goalie that you would prefer if you wanted an over or an under for Calgary, or are they both roughly equal?
I maybe have to dive a little deeper into it. Wolf is a better home goalie. I know that for sure. He played in Stockton, California, so there's something for you. He played in Stockton, California. I don't know where that is from Anaheim.
All right, I'll take the Anaheim team total over 2.5 minus 145. Hopefully, if Calgary is inspired because their moms are in the audience, they'll want to be inspired offensively, not necessarily defensively.
I think so.
Or their mom's going to yell at them because they didn't crack down on D. I don't think so. All right, I'm taking Anaheim team total over 2.5 minus 145. I'd love to take the full game over as well, but I'll hold off on that one. And then the next game on the card, is it the last one? I think the last game on the card is Vegas and San Jose. Vegas, awesome. We all know what's going on with them. Now they go on the road. And San Jose, a young team. They had a brief run of being massively undervalued earlier in the year. Then they got lethargic and started losing game in and game out. And now it looks like they're perking up a little bit. 2 straight home wins, both as a plus 200 dog. In late December, though, Vegas went into San Jose 1-6-3, high scoring, beat them easily. So I don't think I can take San Jose here. I couldn't take Vegas. I don't know. Maybe an under. What do you think? I was gonna say I'm leaning under until I saw that 6-3 game, just a couple weeks ago or less than a couple weeks ago. Passing on that one. What do you think, Gogi?
Yeah, well, San Jose hasn't beaten Vegas in at least the last 5 games I have here. Vegas has had their number. And then Vegas, guys, they have the best of defense in the NHL. I've been saying this. They allowed 3 to Montreal. They lost that game. 3 to San Jose. Like Pete said, they won 6-3. But for the most part, this is a lower scoring team. I want to bring up special teams quickly here for hopefully that. Oh, shit. Sorry, my bad there. I closed the wrong tab. So many tabs up here. Okay. So Gorgiev here. 15% power play for San Jose, 74% penalty kill. They're going to have to score 5-on-5, and that's not going to be easy. I have here Golden Knights. They're a wagon. Do not allow many teams to score 3 goals. So where am I going with this one, guys? Short and sweet. We're going with San Jose team total under 2.5 minus 125. I just a team like San Jose, yeah, they got the young talent and whatnot, but it's the structure of Golden Knights on defense, and even Aiden Hill. I trust them enough to get her done. They're 12-2 in the month of December. I think there's no reason why they can't win this game like 4-1, 3-1. Not allow Sharks to score more than 3. I like this one. Minus 125, highest juice on the card.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, and I will take, despite the fact that the game in late December in San Jose went to 9 goals, I will take a shot with the under 6.5 minus 109. Under 6.5 minus 109. I would love to buy it a 7 at -191, but I won't do that. I'll just stick with the 6.5. And that's it for NHL. We'll review our picks, but do you want to talk indoor golf, Mr. Gokster? How much time do you have?
Just Swiggy there saying Gokster went Rangers, Oilers parlay. So yeah, I went Oilers and I went Dallas on the parlay there, Swiggy. But quickly here, PGA guys, I'm really looking forward to this. This is the TGL, the golf league. It's simulated golf. There's going to be 3 players on each team. They're going to do an alternate shot for 9 holes. Final 6, there's going to be a head-to-head. And then players are going to hit Pete into a 64 by 53 inch screen. This is going to be like a movie theater screen from 45 yards out. They have 3 different surfaces. So you got sand, you got fairway, you got rough. So depending on where they are, they're actually going to be hitting on different surfaces too. It's insane. But once the players are within 50 yards, they actually drop the ball around the green that's actually there. So they're actually going to be chipping and putting like normal. But this is insane, guys. They've custom made 28 holes. And these holes are insane. There's like canyons. It's not like normal golf. It's going to be really fun tonight, guys. 9 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, tonight it's going to be, Jose's got the graphic down there, New York Golf Club versus the Bay Golf Club. New York's going to consist of Ricky Fowler, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Xander Schauffele. And then the Bay Golf Club is going to be Shane Lowry, Wyndham Clark, and Ludwig Aberg. In this one, I'm going to give a money line play here. Most books should have this. I'm going with the underdog, guys. I got plus 100 on the Bay. Reason why I'm taking them is the distance in these simulated events, Pete. We're talking like par 5s that are going to be playing 590. You have the last hole, which could play up to 720 yards, which is absolutely insane from the tips. So you're going to need distance. And who has the distance here? It's the Bay. The Bay team and Shane Clark and Aberg, they average 308, where the New York averaged 301. The only advantage I have in New York is going to be on the par 3s with Xander and Fowler. But if you're looking at total driving, those 3 players for New York average 83rd. The 3 players for the Bay, Pete, average 32nd total driving. That's a huge advantage. And then looking at approach shots gained approach, 43rd from the 3 players for the Bay, and then 86 from New York. So all the stats lead towards the Bay, in my opinion. Some of the bigger name players, Fowler and Xander and Fitzpatrick, are for New York, but not many people know about Clark and Aberg, even Lowry. So give me the Bay here, guys. Should be really fun. Plus 100. I think their distance and their approach just need a hot putter, and they're going to be putting on normal surfaces. So I don't think that's going to necessarily going to be much of a difference. But on these surfaces, Pete, they're going to be moving the greens as well. So you can have one putt going one way, and then they're going to alter the surface. So then it's going to completely change. It's insane, guys. Look forward to it. But yeah, today's play for the TGL Golf League is going to be the Bay Golf Club plus 100. Tune in tonight, guys, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I mean, golf, for people who know what they're doing and have the time to do it, it'd be extremely profitable. Of course, there's some famous professional bettors who excel at golf more than anything else. We got our own Mr. Gokster, like in the Bay Golf Club. That's your only official pick for this one?
That's my only one. There's a money line play plus 100 there, Pete.
I got it. And then Clint Zerligan's asking, can we touch on Australian Open? If you mean you and Mr. Gokster, sure. If you're including me in that we, absolutely not.
I do a lot, but I don't do tennis, unfortunately. We had one guy, oh God, he's from Toronto. Slipping my mind there. Maybe somebody in the chat, a guy from Toronto, he's a great tennis expert. You know what I'm talking about, Pete? I can't remember his name, but
Sam Colmer.
Sammy Colmer. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jose. Shout out to Sammy Colmer. Check him out, guys, on Twitter. He's always got good tennis action. But I got to run, Pete. It's been a pleasure as always, brother, doing the hockey show with you. Jose, I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
See you, Gokster. Out of way.
Mr. Gokster. Mr.
Pete, you
Gokster.
going to tell that hockey bet? That golf bet. I'm going to be betting that right now.
This reminds me of when one of my female friends made some lasagna the other day, and she was like, "Do you like it?" I was like, "Yeah." No, it's really good. Am I going to be tailing Mr. Gokster's golf pick? Yeah, of course, sure. Big, huge. I'm going to tell it. No, I don't know. It sounds good. Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'm currently looking up if my local has it right now. So I'm going to bet it right now. Yeah, I got BetMGM has minus 110 each way as well. So it's like they don't know what to do with the lines either, which I find.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that in this tournament, there's a ton of value all over the place. And I'm sure these lines are moving a lot because the golf sharps, whether they're right or not, are definitely going to be betting them. Sure, why not? All right, I'll tail it. I will tail it, sincerely.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'm
Nervously,
excited
I'll
for
tell.
this.
All right, let me just quickly review the NHL plays that I gave, and then we'll move on. Edmonton, Boston, under 6.5, minus 140. Ottawa, Detroit, over 5.5, minus 122. And Detroit, team total over 2.5, minus 149. Dallas Rangers, under 6.5, minus 113. Pens, minus 1, plus 105. And the first period money line, minus 131. Carolina, Tampa Bay, under 6.5, minus 133. Toronto, Philly, over 5.5, minus 132. And the team total over for Philly, 2.5, minus 147. Winnipeg, minus 1, minus 104. Anaheim, team total over 2.5, minus 145. And Vegas, San Jose, under 6.5, minus 109. All right. All those are a little bit questionable, but as a group, I think they're okay. We'll see.
Got a lot of action, so that's very fun.
Shout out to Jay Peasy. All right. Now what are we going to do?
You know what we're doing, Pete. Come on.
NBA, right? No,
yeah.
Right. NBA. All right.
NBA.
Everyone, welcome. Billy Brisbane. Talk about 7 NBA games on the card. Shout out to Billy Brisbane. Hell yeah. There we go.
What up, Pete? Happy holidays. Hope everything was well. Looking nice and cleanly shaved for the holidays.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. New year, new me. It's new year, new you, or same old Billy?
Same old me.
Good.
I'm
That's what we want to
trying
hear.
to get some bets in here. I got to place these bets real quick.
At least as far as NBA capping is concerned, that's what we want to hear. No changes, significant changes to Billy Brisbane. All right. You ready to go, Billy?
Yes, sir. If you see
All
me
right.
looking down in the beginning portion
Right.
of this segment,
Okay.
I am literally placing NBA bets as we are speaking.
7 games on the NBA card. We'll see what Billy Brisbane has to say about them. I often just wait until tip to make any pregame NBA bets that I want, and then I'll usually do halftime stuff. Phoenix, Charlotte, first game we're going to talk about here. And Charlotte, can't buy a win, but they have covered 3 of their last 4, and that one loss was in OT as a dog. They are showing some signs of life. Going up against Phoenix on a back-to-back. They rolled Philly yesterday as a small favorite. I did have I bet Phoenix first half and lost, and then I doubled up and took them second half and got it all back and then some. But that was all stuff I decided like right before tip that I was going to do. In general, Phoenix hasn't been good ATS. I was thinking, and both these teams have been dead unders for a while now. My leans were Charlotte, even as bad as they are, and under at about 222 or so. I'm thinking Charlotte might actually get a win here. What do you think, Brizzy?
Yeah, I kind of had the same feelings as well, Pete, in this game. The Hornets have been kind of in free-falling mode, though. They've lost 18 of their last 19 games, but I do like them in the spot tonight. I watched that Suns game last night, man. This defense is absolutely horrible, man. And it's just from a lack of effort, and it shows in their rebounding numbers, ranking 26 in the NBA in rebounds. Hence why the Suns are 12 and 22 ATS on the season, the worst covering team in the NBA so far this year. And on the second half of a back-to-back on the road where they're 0-3 in this spot, coming out of Philadelphia's game last night, I just don't see where the value is on this one, where they're able to win that game. But they spent a lot of effort in that game in Philadelphia last night. They beat the Hornets, though, in 7 straight games since 2021. But they've only covered in 2 of those games. But a lot of those games, they're favored by like 7 or more points. The Hornets are more than live, though, to pull this upset off at home. I think this team healthy is not as bad as the roster record shows. Ball, Bridges, and Miller, they all have offensive talent up and down this roster. And I think that's how they're going to have to win this game, is by outscoring the Suns here. I think if you like the Hornets here, I would go with their team total over 109.5. But I actually like LaMelo Ball's player prop even more, as I'm like literally trying to find my wallet as we're speaking about this right now. He's gone over his rebound and assist line in 13 out of his last 15 games. And if you look at the box score with some of these pick and roll guards versus the Hornets, they're just getting fucking torched. I mean, Maxey had 31 last night. Hallie had 27. Conchard was the starting point guard for the Grizzlies the other night. And it's all correlated to Plumlee starting at center. Can I go find my wallet, though? Because I really got to find this.
Yeah, go ahead. In the meantime, we have Matty Ice Taint plays of the day. College basketball, Bowling Green, Western Michigan, under 151. I do think I like that. He likes UAB minus 8.5. That one, I playing Tulane. I didn't bet that one, but I was definitely thinking it would be Tulane or nothing for me. And the over, I also do like the over on that one, a very high total. West Virginia money line and the UCLA BYU money line parlay. I did take BYU. BYU, of course, coming off of an embarrassing presumably embarrassing. Houston loss, going up against UCLA, a team that is beatable. So yeah, I took BYU. BYU is going up against Texas Tech, right? And I did take BYU -3. And interesting stuff from Matty Ice there. All right, well, with the Charlotte game, I was thinking Charlotte +3.5 might have some value. It's now 4.5. I was thinking under 222, maybe worth a look. It's now 224.5. So line has gone up. Line has gone in Phoenix's favor. And Billy Friedrich says, Ron Lofton says, I see Beal finally playing well. Must have wanted to show he's worth something. Yeah, because they took him out of the starting lineup and gave him his minutes off the bench, which maybe lit a fire under him. Billy Friedrich says Suns first half -2. Suns strong first half team on the road. Hornets not strong at anything. Well, they're not strong at anything, but they did cover 3 of their last 4, so somehow they found a way to get that done.
I think the Suns the Hornets healthy are not that bad of a roster. You got to remember, like, the core basis of this team was good enough to get into the play-in tournament the year that LaMelo Ball was a rookie of the year that year. And if anything, that team has gotten better since then. It's just that everybody can't fucking stay healthy. I mean, whenever the Hornets had Bridges, Ball, Miller all playing the same exact game with Mark Williams, Nick Richards, Mitchik, like, this team's fully healthy. And if anything, I don't know if you want to get in front of the wave right now, Loshak. I know you're not in the streets like you used to be anymore, but the streets are hot right now, Loshak. The hottest song right now, #1 trending song on Apple Music this week is Tweaker by Jello Ball, the middle Ball brother. But it was written by Lonzo, which kind of makes sense because Lonzo Ball used to be a rapper. And LaMelo last week also was the #1 guard voted for fan vote for the NBA All-Star vote. So if anything, the Ball family's streaking right now.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I'm going to listen to that song. I mean, yeah.
You might work around that corner. Whoa.
Although Jello is my favorite Ball brother by far.
Nah, LaMelo.
On a personal level,
LaMelo's the best one by far. He's always been the most entertaining. He's always been the best.
He's great. But I have a soft spot for, not that I'm a middle child, but, Jello, man, and just the way he carries. Yeah, it's tough. Oh, man. I want to take Charlotte +4.5 so bad, but the market's moved the other way. Billy Friedrich hates it. Ron Lofton says these are the games the Suns cover when the other team is missing a key player, like Embiid last night.
Who are the Hornets missing that's a key player? Trey Mann? Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Ron Lofton says a lot of people call themselves rappers. Doesn't mean they are. Yeah. I don't call myself a rapper, but I am.
Hey, Ron Crawford, we're in the year 2025, man. You don't need to be qualified to be a rapper. You just got to drop the hit.
All right. Okay. I will hold off. No, I am going to take Charlotte. I'll take Charlotte. Full game. We'll see how this turns out. I understand the treachery here, but I'm going to take it. +4.5, -107. Take a shot with it. Charlotte, full game, +4.5, -107. We'll see. They have been covering recently. All right. Moving on. Next game on the card, Houston, Washington, right? Houston lost 4 of their last 5 ATS, a bit overvalued, man. I took Houston second half in that Lakers game. I thought that was a really, really nice play, and they got absolutely slammed in the second half. I usually win my second half bets, so I bet big. That was a huge loss for me, betting Houston second half against the Lakers. And Washington, slumping. They just lost a home and home against New Orleans, both straight up and ATS. I have no clue what to make of Washington right now. A huge home dog line here. They also had some starters out, right? Bilal Coulibaly, he was sick, and Jordan Poole was out. Not exactly sure who's going to be in here. Washington's terrible. Huge line for Houston. What do you think? Anything here, Billy?
Yeah, the difference between these two teams is just that Houston plays defense and Washington don't play defense. And they've looked a little bit better offensively over the last couple of games, but they're still 5-14 at home this season, 28th in the NBA in defense, and the worst net rating in the NBA as they rank last in the NBA in offensive rating as well. It's just like Is this too many points? Yeah, but like, how profitable has Washington been this home underdog role? I mean, they've gone 8-11 ATS. The Rockets, on the other hand, they've gone 6-4 ATS on the road, win favorited, and they've won 10 out of their 16 road games this year. 8 out of the 10 of those games that they were favored, they won. So it just feels like Houston Rockets as a money line parlay piece for me. If we're talking about money lines in this game, I would say the best prediction for this game would probably be the Washington Wizards to go under their team total 105.5. That's where they're have it at. Under 105.5 is at -115. So it's janted slightly towards the under here. And I kind of agree because I think a lot of their production is going to have to come from Kyle Kuzma. And I think that's the best bet in this whole entire game just alone is under 28.5 PRA for Kyle Kuzma. He's coming off his best game of the year, scoring 28 points and 13 of 23 shooting versus the Pelicans. The opportunity's been there all season for Kuzma, but he just looks uninterested as he's going under his PRA line in 11 out of 16 games played this season. In his last game, it was his first game that he shot double-digit attempts since coming back from injury. And defensively, this is a terrible matchup versus Houston. A lot of his PRA prop is basically based off of his points. In all 5 of his games that he's gone over his PRA prop, he had to score 22 or more points to go over his PRA prop. So if he's not going to go over his points prop, I don't think he goes over his PRA. I got to check the odds for it, but I think the best bet in this game is Kyle Kuzma under PRA, and that kind of correlates with the Wizards team total under 105.5. And I think the Rockets just smashed in this spot.
Okay, yeah, the Wizards team total under has certainly had a lot of market support. The line is now up to 13, 12.5 or 13 for Houston, and the total has dropped from 226 to 224. Me personally, I'm going to completely pass on this one. People talking a lot about college basketball, Arizona and West Virginia. A lot of debate there. Of course, West Virginia already played Arizona once and beat them in OT as a decent-sized dog on a neutral site. A lot of love for West Virginia to do it again. From Matty Ice and others. We will talk about college basketball in a little bit. This is going to be a pass for me. Next game on the card, Lakers and Dallas, right? Lakers have been covering recently, right? Covered 10 out of 12 or something like that. They're coming off the road loss at Houston, but, they came all the way back. They almost did cover. I had Houston second half big. That was a big loss for me. Dallas on a back-to-back, blown out at Memphis last night, lost 5 in a row ATS, and that has all coincided with Luka being out, and so Dallas just now on a back-to-back, really struggling. Big home dog here against the Lakers. I don't know what exactly to make of this. And now Kyrie's out, right? He's out too, right?
Yeah, Kyrie's out as well.
All right, so I don't know. I guess I'd take Dallas with all those guys out getting such a big line. Definitely a pass for me, though. What do you think, Brizzy?
To be honest with you, it was a frustrating loss with the Lakers in their last bout, dropping their game to Houston after coming back all game. However, they still covered the game. They've gone 5-1 ATS on the road over their last 6, and they've been coming back into this game, not just game, just season, in really good form over the last couple of weeks. I expect the Lakers to take advantage over the wounded Mavericks on a second night of a back-to-back. LeBron James has gone 2-10 ATS over the last 12 meetings versus the Mavericks head-to-head, only winning 2 of those games. But without Kyrie, Luka, and company, and Gaffer got hurt in that Grizzlies game as well, it just doesn't look good for the Mavericks right now, man. They started Najee Marshall at point guard last night. That tells you everything you need to know about where they think that they're at in this part of the season. They've lost 5 straight games, 4 of them by double digits or more. Only 1 of them was semi-competitive. They've allowed 57 points in the paint over the last 3 games with no scores. I just don't see it for them tonight, bro. I just think they get smacked in this one. I like the Lakers team total over 112.5 at -120.
Action Jackson saying Dallas is going to have a rough month. JPZ liking UCLA. Raymond Reichart, Arizona. He's talking about college basketball stuff. I've copied and pasted Raymond Reichardt's picks here. Yeah, man. It does. It maybe like after the loss, just the Lakers' first half is a great bet. What do you think?
I just like him full game here in this spot. I mean,
full game.
If you just erase the team name and the history, and you just put the players that were out there on the floor, I mean, this Mavericks team is even a damn near a fucking NBA basketball team. I mean,
really,
dude, they started fucking Najee Marshall at point guard last night. Bro, what? Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively. Bro, that's a dog shit basketball team. With
Maybe not starting NBA players, but those are all NBA players.
P, get the fuck out of here, bro. Najee Marshall is a starting point guard in the NBA. Granted, his game is very fluent. You need the ball in his hand. There's a lot of variance in NBA. Yeah, this is a TNT basketball game, but the NBA ratings are down for a reason because these fucking national TV games suck, and I think the Lakers just blow them out here.
All right. On paper, it certainly seems. I mean, the Mavs have been losing ATS by margins recently. I believe so. Have they even been close?
Yeah, they lost 5 straight games. 4 of them have been by double digits. Only one of those games were like somewhat
so ugly, man. Wow, it's just fucking ugly.
Player prop to look out for this one. PJ Washington over 1.5 3-pointers. I tweeted it out last night. Put it up on the website as well. He was able to cash that one pretty easily. I think PJ Washington hits 2 threes. If you like the Dallas Mavericks, bet the player props. The fuck you betting on them +7 here in this spot for you can identify what Maverick players are going to contribute towards them scoring. It is not rocket science. It's going to be PJ Washington, Hardy, and Najee Marshall. And if you want the lively double-double, have at it. But I don't know, man. Like, who's to say he doesn't pick up 3 quick fouls against Anthony Davis, and then they're putting in fucking Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber to try to stretch out the floor because they have no scores.
All right. Well, Action Jackson dead ass fading the Mavs this month. Jerry Davis says, watch Lakers win by 4 when they should win by 25. All right. It does seem like the Lakers are the
yeah, but JPZ puts a comment in there. He says Magic beating the Knicks is a prime example of why the NBA, why I stay away from the NBA. You got to identify in the NBA sometimes about these spots. It very rarely does another team beat another team in an NBA season 4 times within one season. Regardless, 4 times within 1 month. It doesn't matter who the fuck's out there, man. That's just one of those NBA trend models that don't really come up until like later in the season in March with like teams like the Wizards and Hornets that are 0-3 against the Celtics and are catching +13.5 with like their G League roster. That's just something to like note for the NBA. Very rarely does another team beat another team 4 times in one season. That rarely happens. Rarely happens. Maybe 1 or 2.
All right. Okay, so the next game on the card, here we go. Another tough one, Minnesota and New Orleans. New Orleans is a, decent-sized dog here. Minnesota's on a back-to-back. They won at home last night, very close to the spread. But in general, they have been overvalued over the last 5 games and going over. New Orleans swept a home-and-home against Washington, who's terrible. Before that, though, they couldn't buy a win. They were also trending over. And so, I was looking at this one kind of clueless. I saw a total of 223.5, though, and I thought maybe the over. Now it's down to 222. So once again, wrong on the movement, at least as far as 12 noon is concerned. New Orleans a home dog here. What do you think, Brizzy?
This probably be the quickest breakdown of the day. I lean towards the under. There's just no way you could give me money and tell me to bet this game at a sports book, and I'd probably give you your money back. There's just no value in this game. I think Zion's going to come back. I think the Pelicans are alive. I'm not betting the Pelicans without DeJounte Murray. Anthony Edwards has looked really good in the last week. Everybody else has sucked. I don't want to bet this game.
Okay. Jerry Davis likes Pelicans +6, I think, unless he's just telling us what the line is. I think he likes that bet, though. All right, next game on the card. Here we go. Another one. Atlanta, Utah, right? Atlanta on a road swing. They've lost 3 in a row, both ATS and straight up. And they've got some injuries, right? They've got some injuries that are really hurting. I'm not exactly sure who's going to be in, but then you got Utah, a bad team. They're a dog, but suddenly they've covered 7 out of 9. They're coming back from a 3-game trip. Their last 2 games, right? Both straight up double-digit road wins as a almost double-digit underdog. And that guy, Bryce Sensabaugh, has been absolutely lights out. So, Utah has some life to them now, and they're coming back here, getting a whole bunch of points at home against Atlanta, who has some serious injury issues, losing straight up and ATS. And this one didn't make any sense to me. I saw Utah +6. I thought that's got to be a great bet. And now it's 6.5. I don't know. You tell me, Billy Brisbane. Utah +6.5. What do you think?
So everything that you said is correct, but just betting scenario-wise, this is when the Utah Jazz get fucking smoked. Me and McAfee were going at it on Saturday on all about the hoops starting 5, and I was saying to them about how are the Jazz plus 12.5 or plus 10.5 against the Miami Heat, dude. That when are the Heat laying double digits since what? Bron's been on the fucking team in 2012. Like, when did the Heat lay double digits in any fucking scenario? And then I was in like the same exact. It felt like deja vu because when I was in the casino last Sunday, I was in there with Wager Detective in the chat, and I was saying to him about how are the Jazz catching plus 13.5 the day after fucking New Year's that they in New York? What the fuck, dude? I just don't know, man. I just feel like everything comes back down to reality here for the Jazz in this spot after beating the Heat and Magic in their last holiday road trip. And now back at home. In years past, this used to be an advantage for them. Used to bet Utah blindly at home. Man, they fucking suck at the crib, man. 2-12 straight up at home, down several key rotational players. They don't have that altitude advantage spot. Marketing's questionable. The Jazz don't care about winning this game at the slightest. It feels like the players in the rotation are just fighting for minutes. Atlanta just kind of needs this spot here coming into this game on a 3-game losing streak. They should be able to win this one. It's just nights without Jalen Johnson in the lineup are just going to be harder for the Hawks to win games as he's contributed so much on a nightly basis, offensively and defensively. But I think Atlanta has enough firepower to win this game. Somebody in the chat said this seems like an over spot. I lean towards the over. I just don't want anything. I just don't want any parts of Utah Jazz in this game. This is not a Utah spot at all by the slightest. I just lean towards Atlanta. Runs up the score. It's just like, am I really about to lay -7 with Atlanta on the road with fucking Jalen Johnson out of the lineup? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. And Utah, again, yeah, it is true that Utah's been covering game in and game out over the past 10 games or so, but almost all those games have been on the road. They had 2 home games sandwiched in there. They covered as a 7.5-point dog at home against Philly, but then lost ATS as a 7.5-point dog against Denver. Both of those were relatively close to the spread. All right. I was thinking Utah. Don't overthink it, but I'm going to overthink it and hold off. All right, next game on the card. Let's move on. Is Boston-Denver. Celtics off a blowout loss at OKC, right? Now they're going into Denver, laying a big number for Denver, who's off of a home-and-home split with the Spurs. And obviously it feels like a big bounce-back spot for Boston, but how is Denver getting this many points at home? You tell us, Brilly Brisbane.
Shouts to Clark Edge. Yeah, definitely will be down there Thursday. Big game Thursday. Last year, it felt like last year. Let's talk about the spot in the scenario because I feel like the spot outweighs the spot scenario outweighs everything else in this game besides the player prop that I like the most in this game. Last year, Boston was one of the best first half ATS teams in NBA. However, that trend didn't really continue over this year, going 17-19 ATS first half. But this is a really good matchup for them to get ahead early in this one, coming off a loss versus OKC, where they only put up 27 second-half points. And Denver had a revenge game versus the Spurs, where they had to go into overtime in that one. Now playing back in Denver, where they just flew back into town. I think that same altitude home court advantage won't be there early for the Denver Nuggets, who are already by far one of the worst first-half ATS teams in the NBA. They've gone 8-26 in the first half this year. No Gordon out there in the lineup either. Denver's 26th in the NBA in first half net rating at home, and Boston's number 2 in the NBA first half net rating on the road. Boston should be able to score enough points early to be up by margin at halftime, but it could be just one of those ones where Denver could come back late. Denver has good head-to-head trends against Boston. They've won 14 in their last 20 games head-to-head, and they're 4-1 ATS straight up in their last 5 games at home, and they've won 10 out of their 16 games at home this season. So I like Boston in the first half in this one, but I think the best bet in this game is Nikolai Jokic over 1.5 3-pointers. It's a little bit juicy at -155 at FanDuel Sportsbook, but deservedly so. Jokic's going over his 3-point prop in 11 out of his last 15 games, shooting 43.2% from 3-point in his last 2 games versus Wemby. We saw him take way more 3-pointers than usual, making 3 3-pointers in each of those games. He's made 2 3-pointers in 4 out of his last 5 meetings versus the Celtics, and he scored 30-plus points in 3 straight versus the Celtics as well. And the Celtics' perimeter defense is really their only flaw. they're allowing opponents to make 41.6% of their 3-point attempts this season. In their last 3 games, they've allowed a ridiculous amount of points to 3-pointers, and their 5th most 3-pointers to centers this season. So I think Nikolai Jokic over 1.5 3-pointers is the best bet in this game, and probably Celtics first half following that. Maybe even a double result. Celtics first half, Nuggets full game.
Man, okay. All right. Billy Friedrich also liking the Celtics first half, pointing out that Denver 4-12 at home first half ATS, and movie ticket recaps like Celtics -5. Of course, that was the opening line. Now it's up to 6. Denver might be the play here. You might be right. It's going to be a pass for me. Let me see what else in the comments section people are saying. Huge anus, giving us some college basketball plays and commenting on Miami. Let me see. I'm looking at Kent Davies says, let's get to college basketball. Little patience, Kent Davies, but we will. We will get there very soon.
I got a college basketball spot that
Go ahead.
I believe.
Let me see. I'm looking at all right. Kelly McGinnis, give me Denver +5.5. All right. Next game on the card, last game on the card, and then we'll talk college basketball. Miami, Golden State. Miami's on a back-to-back, right? They lost in OT at Sacramento as a dog. 2 home games before that were margin ATS losses. So Miami's slumping a little bit right now. Golden State off a 30-point home loss to Sacramento 2 days ago. 2 days before that, they got some nice covers, but the 2 games before that, they got some nice covers. But in general, they've been pretty bad ATS recently. Now here, they're giving a bunch of points to Miami. Low total. I was thinking maybe a big Golden State bounce back spot. I don't know. Golden State, is that too many points to lay?
It does feel like too many points to lay with Golden State. But in the NBA, I feel like you have to cap the scenario spot before you're capping the actual spread. And this does scream like a Golden State spot, but man, damn, do I not. You just can't lay this many points at Golden State, man. They cover 2 of their last 8 games. I just don't. There's just no what are you going to do with this game? Just leave the Warriors as a last leg of a fucking 5-leg parlay cross sport? That would be my best advice for you. I wouldn't want to take the +9.5 at the Heat because I don't want to bet the fucking Heat right now. They always say, the star player leaves, everybody's supposed to get hyped and step up. Maybe the star player is leaving for a reason because he sees the writing on the wall before everybody else does of this is about to be a shit show in Miami. I need to get on out of here if I think I'm going to win a championship for the rest of my career. I said this on Saturday. I said it again. Some of the players that the Heat are playing right now on this roster, it's what makes you think this is a decent NBA team? I just don't see it for them right now. They need to make some trades. They need to figure it out. I like the under. I like Golden State to win.
They need to get Langelo on that roster. That's what they need to do.
LiAngelo
No,
sucks, man. He's a bad basketball player. Great TV guy. Great podcast guy. Now a great rapper.
Yes.
Man, he is a bad basketball player, man.
He's lights out shooter. He's a lights out shooter.
Where is there a place in the NBA, Pete, for a 6'4" stretch 4? That's not a thing. That's not a position. Draymond, he would need to play at a Draymond Green level. He's not Draymond.
All right. Well, it's an interesting card. I've only made one official play. Officially, I did take Charlotte +4.5, -107 to get a cover. It does seem like, Golden State also, this line moved up from 6.5 to 9.5. It does seem like, I don't know. It does seem like the Lakers, probably a no-brainer good play. It does seem like Golden State, maybe first half, and Boston first half, probably 2 of those. Probably Golden State, Boston, and where's the other one? Right. Golden State, Boston, and Lakers first half. I got to think at least 2 of those cash, right? Spread?
I would say if I had to go first half spreads, number 1 would be Boston first half. Number 2 would be Houston first half. And number 3 would be I would leave number 3 off. I would only bet those 2.
I hear you. All right. So if you want, do you mind reviewing the official plays that you have given out in the show so far, Billy?
Yes, LaMelo Ball over 11.5 rebounds and assists, -130, bet 365. He's gone over his rebound assist line, 13 out of his last 15 games played. I mean, if you look at the Suns, just look at the Suns' box scores against guards. I mean, dude, they're getting fucking torched. Plumlee starting at center is terrible. And to make matters even worse, Plumlee was the starting center of the Hornets when LaMelo was a rookie of that team. LaMelo probably knows exactly what 1-2 dribble move to send Plumlee the whole other way. I wouldn't be shocked if LaMelo snaps in that game and the Hornets end up winning that game. My lean in that game was the Hornets team total over 109.5. In the Rockets-Wizards game, one of my favorite player props, I got to actually look around the surface of the world and bet it. Kyle Kuzma under 28.5 PRA. He's coming off his highest season total of this year. He's gone under his PRA line in 11 out of his last 16 games played. That's pretty ridiculous. I think the Lakers smashed the Mavericks. I think the Jazz come back down to earth in this game, but I'm not too giddied up to bet Atlanta. Boston first half, but I think the best player prop of the day is Nikolai Jokic over 1.5 3-pointers. He's going over his 3-point prop 11 out of his last 15 games. He's had 30-plus points in 3 straight versus the Celtics. Him and Kristaps Porzingis have like a little thing together. And he's made 2 3-pointers for those last 5 meetings versus the Celtics. Really good spot for him. And, college basketball.
Yeah. All right. But I think we're talking college football first, right?
I just want to give out this player prop.
Okay, go ahead.
College basketball, Texas versus Auburn tonight, ESPN2 game, 9:00 p.m. The Auburn big, man, Johnny Broome, he is just probably one of the best players in college basketball this year. Like, he is absolutely just smashing his prop lines in all of these games, either if it's points, either if it's rebounds. I mean, some of these stats that he's putting up are just absolutely ridiculous this year, man. He's the number 1 ranked player in KenPom. He's number 5 in the country in double-doubles, number 5 in the country for rebounds per game. He's had 10 or more rebounds, defensive rebounds, and it's just ridiculous, man. Just bet his rebound prop tonight, 10.5 -134 at FanDuel. Johnny Broome, don't be surprised if he wins National Player of the Year this year.
Wow. All right. Billy Brisbane. Okay, thanks so much. So are you planning to stay around for college football or college basketball as far as the whole card is concerned, or you got to go now?
I can stay around for a college basketball game or two. I always love talking college basketball with Dabby Cal. Dabby,
what's our agenda looking like right now?
Let's roll right into college basketball with one Dabby Cap. Hello, Gab.
Oh, okay. So we'll start with college basketball, and then we'll talk college football after basketball, right?
Hell yeah, man. I always love capping with Dabby Cab in college basketball. We always have some unique angles, and whenever we combine on a fucking spot, it usually smashes, man.
Okay, so a whole bunch of big games.
I didn't even know I was on screen with you guys. My bad. What's up?
We're not gonna go game by game, but whatever you want to talk about, we'll shout out. Obviously, the Arizona-West Virginia game is a huge one. A lot of people were saying that they're liking West Virginia. They already beat them once. As far as I'll just give a once over on the card. What have I already bet? I did bet BYU, of course. BYU's coming off of the beatdown against Houston. Now they're back home against Texas Tech. The line has moved in Texas Tech's favor. Okay, I did take a shot with BYU there, though. And let me just shout out what I bet. And then, and I did take I think I'm going to take SMU first half. SMU, just lost to Duke. They should be way better than that. A little salty. North Carolina, I think, is vulnerable first half. So I took SMU first half. Let me see what else. Let me just shout out what else I took, and then we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Yeah, the Nebraska-Iowa game is interesting. Nebraska has been great ATS this year. Let me just glance. Cincinnati-Baylor is interesting. The Tulane game is interesting. Can't even remember Pittsburgh getting a big number at Duke. Pittsburgh has been getting margin wins at home. On the road, though, a little bit different, but that's still an eye-popping number there. Duke, tends to be overvalued, but this year that hasn't been the case. They haven't been a great bet game in and game out. They have not been overvalued. So that's an interesting one. Pitt getting all those points, 14.5 at Duke in light of how much Pitt has been absolutely blowing people out at home. Clemson, Louisville is tough because both of those teams have been good ATS. Those I don't really want to bet against either one of those. Bowling Green, Western Michigan. Matty Ice told us he likes the under 151 or 150 and a half, and I agree with that. I might take that one myself. And the Tennessee-Florida game is obviously very, very interesting. Tennessee suddenly getting a bunch of points on the road, and Florida coming off a very high-scoring game. I was thinking that at least the first half under there might be good. Florida should want to clamp down on defense here. Tennessee, of course, does that well. So I was thinking that the first half under in that one might be good. Georgia Tech, Syracuse is interesting. Georgia Tech has had some nice wins and covers. Syracuse has been crappy, but they get a key guy back, that guy JJ. And at first, I was thinking this is probably Georgia Tech's spot. But now I might be betting Syracuse close to even money with their big guy returning. And that's all I can remember as of right now. I guess let's start with Dabby Cab. Tell us one or two games that you want to shout out that you're liking on today's card.
Oh man, one or two. You just named a list of games that I could talk about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, say it. Whatever you got to say. This is a free-form sports betting analysis show. That's what makes us so special and unique.
I love it.
No rules.
I tell you what, Pete and Billy, we're at that time of year now where we're finally starting to get better college basketball, right? This is where I start.
We're like the digital underground of sports betting. Say what you like. Go ahead, Dad.
And we're starting to get these matchups where you can look at I can look at the card and it's funny because everybody tells me they know my bets. I know y'all's bets, man. You motherfuckers are predictable. I can look at the card and I can say, oh, okay, everybody's going to bet Florida today. It's so obvious. Or everybody's going to go against Tennessee. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, I can see it, right? Tennessee is one of those spots. Georgia is another one of those spots. I'll stay on this one, right? I understand why people are going straight to Florida. They just took their first loss in 20 games, right? 20 games. And they look good. Whether you're talking about, Walter Clayton, who I've been on his prop for a while, or Alex Condon, they got players across the board. And they just came off that high-scoring game with Kentucky, like you said. Kentucky's not the same team as Tennessee. This is another basketball game where Florida is going to have to completely reinvent the wheel. Tennessee's going to play defense like Kentucky didn't do. Kentucky doesn't play defense. Kentucky goes out there and has a shootout with you. And I think Florida is the type of team that's equipped to go out there and have a shootout with people this year. And that's where they're at. But Tennessee, man, you're telling me right now I can get 2.5 points with Tennessee's defense in the first half of this basketball game? I don't give a fuck who wins it. I don't care what happens in the end of the game. Give me the first half with the Vols plus 2.5. This is a spot where I'll be on it all year. And at the end of the year, it will cash more than it doesn't, right? So you can look cute fading the number one team, being like, oh, the number one team's a 4-point dog. That's obvious that they want to bet. Do whatever you want. At the end of the season, I will be positive with these bets. I promise.
I was thinking about the first half under. I'm just worried that it might be just like low scoring, but because Florida's involved, it'll still get to like 72 or something. It's 70.5 right now. Of course, after the Kentucky game, Florida lost, giving up 100 points. You got to think they're going to clamp here.
You think Florida's going to clamp here?
Or try to.
Yeah, and Tennessee loves that. Tennessee wants you to play that type of basketball game. This is a Vols team who – a lot of people had big question marks around after, Dalton Connect left.
Back stuff.
And I got to shout out Lanier because he has filled that hole and then some. I mean, I think Lanier is every bit as good of a ball player as Dalton Connect. And I know that says a lot because Dalton Connect was outstanding. Lanier can fucking ball for Tennessee. This Tennessee team's still every bit as good as they were last year. No doubt. I mean, there's a reason they're sitting at 14-0 right now. And they got to lose a game. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. I'm going to bet on a team that's not going to cash. I get it. But giving me 2.5 points in the first half of this basketball game with this Tennessee team, there's no chance that I'm not going to take it.
All right. Kent Davies bet 2K on Wisconsin last night. It was the obvious play despite everyone talking up Rutgers. I had Rutgers second half yesterday. That one lost. I think I also had them first half. I was on Rutgers. Unbelievable. All right, Billy Brisbane, what are you liking on today's card, if anything?
I kind of let's talk about the Tennessee.
Oh, I got more too. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Go for it.
This is Daddy Cap spot. We're just talking about the games. I would say if you're looking at Tennessee's schedule, Debbie's right. If you just broke it down to like Yeah, this could be a Florida spot. Yeah, this seems like a Florida spot. But Tennessee's a way better basketball team than Florida. It's just I'm looking at this spot on Saturday. I gotta write it down in like my calendar. Horns down, man. Texas and Tennessee Saturday. I think that's when Tennessee loses their first game. I don't think it happens tonight. This seems like one of those type of nights where Tennessee beats Florida, Auburn beats Texas, and then when they play each other on Saturday, that line's like really inflated, and then we take Texas as like a double-digit home dog or something like that. That's what I'm hoping for. Tonight, I'm just rooting for Dabby Cavier in the spot.
I appreciate that. And, it's hard to go on the road in college basketball, harder than any other sport. But this is a Tennessee team who's already got, a win at Illinois on the road. And, I mean, it's not going to get any harder than playing at Illinois. Florida's going to be packed. It's going to be a good environment. But this is nothing these guys can't handle.
Take it a step even further. I'll fade Rick Barnes in March, but we're down there in Pubba Palooza. That's the time to fade fucking Rick Barnes.
You're right, man.
The fucking early conference basketball season, fade that motherfucker and watch how much money you end up losing throughout the first couple months of the season and stuff like that. You fade him in the end of the season. But
you bet Tennessee basketball and football in the regular season, and then you stay the fuck away from them after that.
Yeah, I don't love for Tennessee. Look at this, Kent Davies. Tennessee should be favored. It's only because of the road to bounce back.
The public spot, Pete, of like, how the fuck is Florida getting all like? Florida's getting a lot of this public money on this spread, bro. If you ask any like sharp handicapper, watch any sharp handicapper video, they're gonna say Florida minus the 3.5. They're gonna bounce back. Da 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 da. Maybe Florida is a fast tempo team. They just don't play defense, bro. And like, if you're not going to play defense, dude, you're just opening up the back door in these games.
Justin McElvey, Tennessee plus 2.5. Movie ticket recaps. I think it's a Tennessee spot. They get up for this game all the way. Nuke Worker, Tennessee money line plus 155. Wow.
Are the kids back in school at Gameville? That's a good angle to juice. The kids are back. This is syllabus week for anybody that's ever gone to college or a university. Dog, syllabus week is wild. Dabby, am I right though? Syllabus week is wild, bro. Like you end up hitting some shit that you didn't even know this person even went to this university, bro.
All you're doing is everybody's just drinking right now. That's it. There's nothing else. You just get drunk all day.
Yeah, wow. It's like one big party, and you're going to all new classes, and you're getting rid of the teachers that you didn't like last semester. Syllabus week is a pretty wild time at campus.
Jake Burns got Florida -1. Good spot play. Okay, well, he beat the move. Man, okay. Jeez. All right. Is there anything else you're liking? Anything else you want to bring up, Billy Brisbane, that you think might be worth a play?
I would lean towards the under, but I'm not betting it.
Oh, no, I mean for the rest of the card.
I wanted to get Dabby's thoughts on I'm gonna jack up his name every time I say it, but Johnny Broome over 10.5 rebounds, -134 at FanDuel. Thoughts on the our guy here? I feel like Dabby has been on him for a couple years now. But
Broome's he is easily one of the best players in college basketball. There's no doubt about that. What's the number at?
10.5 -134. I think he literally falls at 11, man, like right on the dot.
Bro, my thing is the only way he's not going to cover that for you is if he has to sit any minutes in the first half because of foul trouble. If he plays the whole game, or if he plays his full time, he covers that. That's, you know what I mean?
And his last game was more of a points game against Missouri. They kind of just blew them the fuck out on the court, and he had 24 points before he didn't play like the last 3 minutes of the game. I think the games that are if you look at Auburn's games, they're blowing out a lot of these shitty ass teams, but in the games that are close, he's smashing his rebound prop in. And this is probably one of the highest totals of the whole entire card tonight. Texas and not one of the highest totals. I would just say one of the highly touted games tonight. ESPN2 150 total. The spread's 10.5, but I actually think Texas is live on the spread. If you ask me who could cover the spread, I think Texas can cover a 10.5 spread. So that makes me like Johnny Broome's player prop even more if I think the game's going to be close.
Yeah, well, and Texas is coming off getting absolutely smashed by A&M, 20 points. So this is a spot too. Texas, the reason I liked A&M against Texas is the same reason I like Broome tonight. they are not physical enough. They are not big enough. They do not pose anything that bothers me down low. That's my problem with Texas is I don't think they're good enough down low. I highlighted that comment, man. I hope it's not Lanier or Ziegler. Chris Warren said Tennessee is missing a player tonight. If it's either of those two players, that's not good. But because I didn't see that. If you could let me know who it is, that'd be aces, my dude. Let's look at that Georgia game, though. Pete, this is another one where, I feel like you're going to get a lot of love for Georgia here because why is number 6 Kentucky only 2.5-point favorite? I don't know. I don't spend time overthinking it. Georgia doesn't have the offense, doesn't have the depth, doesn't have the ability to keep up with Kentucky here. And yeah, okay, Kentucky's coming off that big win against Florida. It's a letdown spot, this, that, and the other. Kentucky's already had 2 other top 10 wins this season. This is a team that is 3-0 facing top 10 teams in college basketball, and I don't see them letting down here on the road, right? Their coach prepared them for this road trip, and he said, hey, we got to win until we get home, and that's what they're going to do. You're going to give me Kentucky here in this offense against a Georgia team that's 12-2. It's fool's gold, man. They haven't fucking played anyone. Georgia's strength of schedule is like 354th or something like that. Obviously, it's changed since last time I saw it, but I'll say it again. Georgia has not played anybody. They were a fade against Ole Miss, and Ole Miss's defense, locked Georgia down. Kentucky's not going to have the same type of defense Ole Miss had, but Kentucky's offense, man, come on. I got Kentucky here, and I laid a little bet on them in the money line in the first half at -125. Also, just because the line dropped earlier, so I got them first half on the money line and full game at 2.5.
Very nice. So, yeah, I'm looking over at the card. What I want to do, I was thinking about Baylor. Maybe they're going up against Cincinnati. Baylor, it should be a good spot for them. They do have some injuries, though. I was liking the under 139 in that one, and maybe Baylor first half. I also I like Western Michigan. I took them at 3.5. Now it's up to like 5 or 5.5. Tank play of the day. One of them is the under in that game. The Bowling Green team total under is probably very good at 73.5 as well. I might make that official. Is there Billy Brisbane? What do you think about the Kentucky Georgia game?
So at the Kentucky Georgia game, I had a bet on Jackson Robinson in his last game. He was one of the players from BYU that went over with Pope, and it was his 1,000-point scorer day. I don't know, man. I feel like the thing that I don't like about Kentucky, you think Calipari leaves, the defense would get better. Kentucky still doesn't play defense. I feel like Georgia goes over their team total 75.5 tonight. I don't know if they win or lose the game. That's a whole entire different cap in itself. But when it comes to the total, man, I think Georgia can put up 76 points in a loss.
Okay. I will make Bowling Green team total under 73.5 -123. My first official college basketball play. I don't know. Let's see what people in the comment section. Go ahead.
Dabby was saying something, but he was.
How many of these Kentucky players were here last year? None.
I mean, maybe 2 or 3, but majority of them are all new.
Yeah. Okay. Like the big players.
Yeah, all the ones.
Because one of the things people always like to look into is what happened last time. Yep, none of these guys are fucking here last year, were they?
Think about it, bro. All the Calipari kids went with him to
Right. Yeah, I was just saying because Georgia beat Kentucky last time they played in February, but
but that doesn't really count too much because
that's not a part of my cap. I was just bringing it up for everyone.
Which is interesting because I think that's something that we need to start highlighting a little bit more. College basketball, you can kind of look into the trends of between two teams in the same conference and stuff like that. But with the NIL deals and stuff like that, bro, this shit's way different. What was the team last year? South Florida, they were Kennesaw State reincarnated of it was the whole entire Kennesaw State team from last year. With the NILs and these teams that are getting big money, this year you're seeing Utah State. That coach got paid a shitload of money to go to Washington, and he bought his star player with him and stuff like that. Shit, fucking Drake is another prime example. That whole entire team is a D2 championship basketball team from last year. They have no players. Tucker DeFreitas and the whole entire team went over there, West Virginia. And that would be the one spot that I would be a little bit worried about would be West Virginia against Arizona. I get it. West Virginia's played really good basketball over recent, but I think it's an Arizona spot in my opinion. I feel like West Virginia kind of got lucky beating them the first time. They also had Tucker DeFreitas in the game, which is the coach's son. If you're talking about late
That line's
game,
crazy. That line's
bro, you talk about late game situations. I want the coach's fucking son out there that's been with him his whole entire fucking life to have the ball in his hand in clock control situations. I just don't. If this is going to be one of those type of games, then give me Arizona.
Yeah, because that line's crazy, man. And I thought to myself, did Arizona figure it out? Like, hold on real quick, because I know everybody's looking at them at 8-5, and a bunch of people probably bet Arizona early in the season and lost money. I had one bet on them and I lost early, but I quickly was like, no, fuck this. This isn't the team I bet on last year. But now we're looking at, that win over Cincinnati, the win over TCU. And I know Cincinnati and TCU aren't world beaters, but Cincinnati's a pretty good ball club. TCU is a decent ball club, right? I think Arizona might be turning that corner. This line's fucking crazy. The fact that West Virginia is at home and they're catching points, this line's crazy, man.
One of the spots that I was looking at on the card today was, I think somebody said it in the chat. They're on the other side, though. Nebraska versus Iowa. Man,
I was just sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. That was just the game I was looking at. I was just going to shout it out. I don't know what you're going to say, but I like first half under. Go ahead, Rizzy.
This is just one of those Big Ten home team spots, man. I mean, Iowa's 64-42-2 ATS at home with Fran McCaffrey tenured, so basically covering over 60% of the time as home favorites, versus Nebraska, Fred Hoiberg fucking sucks on the road. Like, Nebraska is a good home team. You bet them at home, not on the road. They're 18-27 ATS as a road dog, while Hoiberg's coached the Huskers here. I like Iowa, man.
And I will make the first half under an official play. It will be 76.5 minus 112, 76.5 minus 112. Iowa, of course, off a loss where they got absolutely beat down. Their defense was terrible in that game. So, going forward, they're probably still going to be that for the rest of the year. But first half at home in this one, I'll take a shot with Iowa trying to be better defensively. Nebraska, Iowa, first half under 76.5 minus 112. Second official play, baby.
Nuke Worker in the chat wants us to talk about St. John's versus Xavier. Man, it's crazy because the best thing about Pub Sports Radio is a lot of the times you can see our live reactions to our bets of these games. It's not like you're like buying one of our picks or seeing one of our picks or something like that, and like you just get like the fucking tweet review or some shit like that. Like, you get to see the live reaction. And dude, how much money did St. John's lose me on those fucking streams last year, Dabby? I was going like fucking crazy in some of those games. I haven't bet Patino all year this year. Like, I haven't bet one bet on St. John's all year, and it's Big East season, so it's like, I guess it's that time of year to start talking about them.
No, I'm so bad at multitasking, guys. And somebody in the chat, Jerry Davis, shout out our guy, he said something in the chat. So I was typing, so I've been checked out I'm not good at multitasking. He said Cincinnati's not a great team. I said, no, they're not great, but they did beat Dayton and Xavier, right? They were ranked right up until their last loss. So I'm not saying they're a great team. I'm just saying it's a good win for Arizona. Sorry if I ignored your question. I didn't mean to.
No, not at all. We're talking about St. John's, Xavier, Big East game. Yeah, St. John's is a lot better basketball team than what they were last year. It's just, I don't know, man. Something about Xavier catching this little short home dog spot seems like the right side, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at that game. They're barely a dog, though. Very tiny, tiny edge right now for St. John's. And this one is just, has halftime or live bet written all over it. St. John's, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, the live bet this game.
Yeah, I mean, St. John's obviously a very impressive team. They started the year great ATS, but recently the market has caught up. They have been losing ATS recently, but not by margins. And Xavier, not great, but certainly good at home. Should be competitive. Could easily be up by 10 or down by 10. And in fact, they probably will be up or down by a certain amount at some point. And maybe the team that's down will be worth a live bet at that point. Yeah, the lines are on for me, and I'm not going to have a pregame bet on that one.
Shouts to Sean Higgs in the chat. He says Mavs Pelicans money line parlay of the year. Bet your children's unborn children on this game. One spot that I want.
Oh, is he kidding?
I have no idea. But one spot I wanted to highlight on this card, even though it's going to be a blowout, I think there could be a lot of points scored in this game. Utah versus Iowa State. This is probably only a prize picks play because I don't see his player prop up yet. Milan Micholovic over 1.5 3-pointers. Used that as a prize picks piece. He had 4 3-pointers in that Baylor game. Won the Colorado one. Basically, he's going over his 3-point prop a lot in these games, man. And a lot of the times that Iowa State are smashing in these team total spots, he's usually a huge portion of it. I'm jacking up his name, but Milan Masilovic.
Yes.
Milad Masilovic over 1.5 3-pointers. He's been smashing his 3-point prop. So if you think I'm lying, you can Google that shit and put in his game log and pull that shit up, bro. His 3-point prop has been kind of smashing. The bookies haven't put it up yet, but it should be on Prize Picks. You're muted.
Yeah.
Speaking of 3-point props, I got one other official bet. Sorry, this is getting real freeform. But
No rules. They tell you how to be. You don't listen to them.
Yeah, this number's wrong, Pete. So we're gonna bet it. And I'm doing it right now. I'm just making sure I do it correctly. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna take Chaz Lanier. I talked about him earlier with you guys. I'm gonna take him over 3.5 threes. You can get anywhere. I got plus 127. You can get it up to plus 135. I just can't use that one. I mean, he's hit it in his last 3 games. He's hit it at 7 out of his last 10. I don't know. The number's wrong. Maybe
line movement on it too. Open up at 2.5 minus 188. Books moved it to 3.5 immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it again. 1, 2, 3. He's hit it in his last 3 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's hit it in 8 out of his last 10 games. Why is this the number? I don't know, but I'm gonna bet.
Yeah, no, this is pretty wild. He's got 5, 6, 5, 3, 2, 4, 4, 7, 6. 8 out of the last 10 over. Great call there, Gabby Cab. 3.5 at plus 135. That's the stat trends on the 3.5, not where it opened up at 2.5. On the 3.5 at plus 135, and he's still gone over 8 out of his last 10, which is pretty wild.
Pete, you could jump that one with us.
Okay, I will jump on that one. Lanier, for sure.
That's a great prop.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the rest of the cards, seeing if there's anything. I don't know. People are saying SMU.
Mountain West.
Go ahead.
A little Mountain West talk here. Somebody said in the chat, Billy's probably got Boise State parlayed. Maybe I fucking do got Boise State parlayed. Or you giving me an idea? Because I think Boise State fucking smashes against UNLV. This is one of those spots where UNLV actually beat Boise State. And the last time that they played at Boise, and those are a lot of the same players that were on that team last year are on this team this year. I know they got to remember that shit. Prior to that loss, they were smashing them head-to-head wise. I think it was like 7 straight wins. Mountain West smash spot. I think Boise State rolls.
Okay, I'm looking at everything here. I guess we should talk about the Auburn game, right? Auburn, obviously awesome this year. Giving 11 points or so. The line has probably moved to Texas. Awesome start of the year. Awesome. They were ATS, that is. Last 2 games, market caught up. Too huge of a home fave, and they lost both of those. ATS, that is. Now they're on the road, and Texas coming off of the 20-point. Oh, wait a minute. Did you already talk about this, Dabby?
Yeah, this is the Broom prop game. 10.5 rebounds.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't know, man. Texas seems vulnerable against elite teams. That is a massive, massive number there.
Yeah, I think 10.5 for Texas would be the side. That's why I think the Broom props play. I think Texas keeps the game close.
I don't know what the number should be with Texas right now because I don't think they're a very good basketball team. But you guys heard me say that this last weekend too. And I've said it a couple times this year. I mean, that is a very large number, but I still don't see the pieces just working yet. And they're small. They're not. Broom is going to have a day.
Broom is going to have a fucking game, bro.
Unless he's on the bench, he gets his numbers in whatever he wants.
I think he 20 and 20s. This game's on ESPN too. And one of my caps for college basketball players for like player props is I like betting on seniors, man. Motherfuckers that know that when you go on national television, you gotta go. You gotta go, man, because there ain't a whole lot of seniors that are getting drafted in the NBA in the first round. So when you see these seniors play on national television, primetime spots, they gotta put up big games. And every time Broom's on ESPN or ESPN2, dude, he's been fucking smashing, man, either points or rebounds. So I'm gonna take a shot at the rebounds today.
Someone earlier, I was saying that I might want a SMU first half, but they were like, "Don't do it." SMU is.
I heard you say that, and I didn't want to interrupt you. I would just bet the over. It's 166.5 for a reason. I mean, what has SMU showed you in the last month that they can play defense against anybody? They let Boston College put up 77 points, but it's got Boston College in the 70s. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I haven't seen Boston College put up points in the 70s. Longwood put up 82 points in a loss. I mean, their only games that they've gone under are against like LSU and like Virginia. Granted, I don't think they get smoked, but if there's one thing about UNC, man, there isn't a shot that nobody hasn't seen that they don't like. I mean, goddamn, man, them boys. They run up the score, man, especially back at the crib. We're talking about syllabus week in Chapel Hill. Yeah, this seems like a first half over 78.5, full game over 166.5. And I would also lean towards SMU team total over 80.5.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kent Davies says he took SMU full game plus 6.5, but Ju says SMU is garbage.
Yeah, I think they're garbage, so I like the over.
Speaking of garbage, somebody in the chat put Louisville overrated. Look, I don't know if they're overrated. It's just they were such a bad fucking team.
They were so bad for so long.
They were not bad. Yeah. That maybe they are overrated because now, because you go not long before they were that bad. Louisville was a great program.
Nah, bro, they're not overrated, bro. Noah Waterman's their starting center. He was the starting center for BYU last year, man. He's a really good ball player.
I'd probably take Clemson first half if I bet the game. Not betting it.
I'm not betting it because if I bet it, I would bet Louisville. And any time that I think I'm about to bet Louisville college basketball, I'm just going to pass.
Yeah. I'm not good.
And you know what, Gabby? From doing the streams last year on Saturday with you and CMAC, bro, the ACC's overrated, man, in basketball.
They're not good. North Carolina's bad.
Like, the ACC is really like duking everybody else, bro.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm only going to have one official play. Go ahead.
Can we talk about some mid-major hoops here?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to talk about?
There is a black college that plays at 4:00.
Oh, NC Central, Oregon State. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we doing with that one, man? Standalone 4:00 game. You think blindly you just want to say, hey, first game of the day, college basketball, you bet the fucking under. And then you look at the stats of the two teams and you're like, 155.5 might be right. I feel like NC State should be the better team, but am I really walking to the window to bet NC State at 4:00 in the afternoon?
Yeah, I wouldn't bet the under at NC Central. Someone was saying that they liked NC Central. In this one, for me, it'd be Morgan State or nothing, just because, both these teams have been kind of crappy ATS recently. Morgan State is off of a bad home loss where they're a decent-sized dog and still got blown out. But, teams like these play a lot of like road games during the non-conference schedule. And, a lot of times they get covers, sometimes they don't, but it's a little hard to get a read on them. So when the conference, portion of the schedule starts and you have a team like Morgan State that is, kind of a crappy team, but they have some, home wins already on their resume, and they have some covers against better teams. And then they're an underdog. I'd definitely be leaning that way. So for me, it'd be Morgan State or nothing.
Roscoe, where are you fading me at, man?
I definitely didn't fade him on Saturday.
Like Saturday, I did the last couple shows I've done, all been fine.
Billy went 4-1, and then you came on the show before. I mean, I don't know what you do around the other shows, Billy, but with me, you've done nothing but win on the shows you've come on with me.
And I've only done shows with you in the last week, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably confusing Billy with me. He's probably just getting us confused.
I don't know, like maybe Billy Friedrich in the chat, maybe Billy. There's a lot of Billies in the chat nowadays. Not throwing any shouts, but I don't know, bro. I just Notre Dame won last Thursday. I just don't know what play did you specifically fade me on that loss, like that made me think that comment was correct.
Yeah, or maybe he's confusing you with Jose Bouquett.
I just want to know what's the pick, because if it was, I think the only pick that I've lost that I put out in the last week has been like Tyrese Maxey and the Sixers, and they got smoked by the Warriors. It's the only pick that I could think of in the last week that's lost that I put out. But as I digress, this is not a Billy show.
I like going back and forth with the chat, but sometimes you guys confuse me. I don't understand what you're saying, Benny. Yes, Clemson got help from the refs against Kentucky. No, I don't. I mean, why would I care if Louisville got help against Kentucky? It had nothing to do with that game, and Kentucky won that game. So your comment doesn't make sense.
Pete, can we roll back to the Georgia Tech and Syracuse game? I have an epitome, maybe a fascination, maybe an obsession with Elijah Chopper Moore, baby. The elbow, baby. He played for Team OTE last year, and man, I thought he was going to go over to Syracuse and light it up. And, dog, he does not play defense at all. They're not putting him in the game. And I think he's a year away. I think Syracuse in general is a year away. Cayenne Anthony, son of Carmelo Anthony, top 25 recruit in this upcoming class, will be at Syracuse next year. I think Elijah Moore staying as well. But as I digress, I think Syracuse can win this basketball game. It's just, man, do I really want to bet fucking Syracuse in a fucking game that I really think is like a roll of the dice? Like, this screams like back and forth, team up by 6, lose the lead, down by 4, other team comes back by 4, and then at the end of the game, it's probably just some free throw that really decides it.
They're also getting a guy, his name is Jay. Let me find his
JJ Starling. JJ Starling.
Right.
Top 5. I think he was top 5 ACC point scorer last year. Super senior.
Yeah, and he's good. You know, he missed 7 games, which corresponds to a bunch of losing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think I need to bet his player prop because I just clicked his player name from last year. I bet his player prop over in 5 out of 7 games that I bet Syracuse games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely leaning Syracuse here. I might give it officially. Let's see what other people are. Sportsman of the Year says Louisville first half. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Well, you know, we got a whole. It's a big card.
How many minutes is JJ Starling going to play? Because I think he might be on to something, Pete. 15.5 points. I'm looking at these lines from last year, bro. They're like 19.5, 18.5, 17.5, 18.5. This one tonight's 15.5 at -130. I mean, goddamn.
I mean, he played a full minute. He played full game in the return against Florida State.
I might have to write screenshot. Pete might get a PayPal after that cashes.
Oh, no, you've given me
We're gonna have to find. We're gonna have to find.
Back go ahead.
I think you're right, bro. JJ Starling, bro, 15.5 points, bro. That's actually just a bad line. Of like his line last year was like 18.5, 19.5. He was a top 5 ACC leading scorer of Syracuse. Probably will shoot the most amount of shots on this team. You said he just came back in his last game and he played a full amount of minutes.
Yeah, played full at Florida State, which they lost ATS and straight up, but it was a road game at Florida State, so that's all right. That's excusable.
I think you're on to something, Pete.
Yeah, you know what? I'll join you. I'll make Syracuse an official play. Just in solidarity with you. And
no, not Syracuse.
Right. No, you're going to take his player prop. Yeah, right.
I think we're going to JJ Starling. I think you're on to something with JJ Starling being bad.
Yes. Right. But I'm just saying in partial solidarity. I'll look for the props and bet
I think it's the prop though. Like I just said, out of 7 Syracuse games that I bet last year, 5 of them were player prop overs on JJ Starling. AKA, if you like Syracuse, bet the player prop. Don't bet the team.
Right. You're absolutely right. But it's just, player props a much smaller market. I'll add on Syracuse money line -103 as an official play. I'll go and see what prop numbers I can get on Starling and maybe bet those. So that'll be a third official play for me. Yeah, no, but you're right. They're not they're a very scary team to bet on, to win or cover.
Any
Georgia
action basketball for you today?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Any action basketball for you today? You said you had a bet on Bowling Green and
Bowling
Western-
Green team total under. I'm taking that. Yeah, the MAC games. Let me see. I'll tell you my thoughts on them. Let's see. Yeah, Ohio Buffalo. That's weird. There's been a big move in favor of Ohio as an even bigger road favorite. So someone must be out for Buffalo. I'm not sure what's going on there. Central Michigan's interesting. I did bet them in their last game and got a cover. They're going up against Akron, and I'd be leaning under in that one. The spread is a little iffy, but I do like the under in Central Michigan. Akron at 146.
Somebody in the chat saying Miami of Ohio Briz, and I clicked the game, and they were 6-1 as a favorite this year. That is pretty wild.
Yeah, Miami as a favorite at Ball State. I think I like the under on that one, but I didn't bet it. And the spread that game has live and halftime maybe written all over. Then yeah, the Bowling Green Western Michigan game. It's a tape play of the day. The under, I would agree with that. And I also did like Western Michigan. When it was down at 3.5 and 4, now it's up to 5 and 5.5, and I made Bowling Green team total under 73.5 minus 123 an official play. Kent State, Northern Illinois, that's tough. A big, huge, MAC home dog. Again, just gonna with a low total, gonna pass on that one, but maybe think about a halftime or live play. And yeah, that's it. Illinois, Chicago, Missouri State is interesting because Illinois, Chicago has been great ATS recently. I'm not going to bet them pregame here. Missouri State's been a little bit iffy, but things can change on a dime. In January in conference play. But I definitely have in mind that Illinois Chicago has been great ATS recently. I've been betting into that. Yeah, this
Missouri State might have.
Go ahead.
I think Missouri State might have played the best two teams in that conference in their last two games, and Bradley and Alpo. I mean, Bradley's fucking nice this year.
Yeah.
Alpo can put up points with anybody. I'm not surprised they lost those two games, actually.
Yeah, so it's no problem for me to pass on a MAC game, so I'm passing on that one. Definitely game I'm liking the most is Western Michigan Bowling Green, liking the under, and Western Michigan. Matty Ice liking the under as well. So that'd be my
Gabby Cab, I got a question for you. What were your thoughts on the game in Waco tonight with Cincinnati and Baylor? I kind of lean towards Baylor minus 5.5, but god damn, man, this team is not as Messi being on the Pelicans was way bigger deal than what I ever thought it was. He was like their Big 12 player of the year last year, their starting center. He was like blocking all the shots. Holy fuck, do they not have any bigs this year, man?
I said it Saturday. When we talked about it. I like Norchad Omier, but he is not a true big. It's just something about it. I don't know what happens. When Miami had all those guards outside with him, no problem, right? But right now, Jeremy Roach isn't playing that great. They're just not clicking. The team is not clicking, and I like Baylor tonight as well. But I don't have any more money for Baylor. They've exhausted my bank account. So, I mean, it is what it is. You lose a bet for me, a certain amount of times, and you don't get bet on anymore. So fuck Baylor.
Let me see. Where is it? Someone's asked about the Mississippi State game. There you go. Yeah. Kent Davies says no one cares about the huge line move to Mississippi State tonight, though. Huh? Yeah. I don't know if it was a huge move. It's definitely a significant one. Vandy, the first line I saw was Vandy about 1.5 point home dog. And now it's up to about 3, 2.5 or 3. And I mean, that's an interesting game. It's just going to be a pass for me. Both these teams have been play on teams. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Super big pass. I think the move would be Mississippi State, but god damn, bro. If you bet on Mississippi State this year or just in general, there's just something about that team, bro. They're good. They cover, they win games and all that. They're 13-1 this year, but I watched that team played in their little Thanksgiving tournament thing. We're gonna end up fading that team at the right spot this year. That's not a Final Four team.
Yeah, and especially with the high volatility. I mean, they beat South Carolina by 35. Memphis, who's a good team this year, they smoked them on the road. So it's not a surprise that they have gotten money. But Vanderbilt has been awesome ATS all year long. They often have a good home court advantage. I am a little surprised. No, because it's justifiable because of what Mississippi State's done recently. But I'm passing on that one, but I'll definitely be looking at it live in second half. But pregame, nothing for me on that one. But it's definitely interesting and noteworthy that Mississippi State taking road money at Vanderbilt, who's no slouch this year, straight up or ATS, That's an interesting game and an interesting move for sure.
Did you guys have any thoughts on the Michigan UCLA game? Battle of two top 25 teams. Peacock game, 10 o'clock p.m.
Sorry, and Kent Davies saying Vandy missing it. Go ahead. Sorry, Vandy missing your top player. That's for the group. Go ahead, Bruce.
No, I was just saying, is this a UCLA spot against Michigan? Like, I don't think Michigan's that good. They got size, but I don't think they're that good.
Gabby?
Which game did you just the Michigan game tonight?
Michigan versus UCLA, 10 p.m.
Yeah, I've been on UCLA first half 3 times this year. I gone 3-0 when I bet on it. You know, that's how I am. When I find a bet, I stick with it when I like it. So obviously, I looked at this game and thought about taking UCLA first half, especially after the bounce back against Nebraska, which is funny because that's not a bounce back for me. I had UCLA first half plus a half a point, and it was tied at halftime. So that cashed. But I thought about them here first half, and I ended up staying off ultimately just because Michigan likes to play the same type of game that UCLA likes to play, physical, slow. So this is probably under, even though let's see where this number's at right now. 141, 142. Zion available tonight as well. Just came up. Yeah, maybe the under in that game, but I'm not betting it.
Not huge, Janice. I'm saying Michigan's got a lot of size, no doubt, bro. They got Vladdy Golden from FAU last year. They had their head coach from FAU last year. Danny Wolf might be one of the best, like, I would say, like, forwards in college basketball. It's just, bro, I don't know, man. Something about this Michigan team give me fraud vibes, bro. Like, you're out here losing to Cal, bro, down the stretch in Madison Square Garden, man. You're out here losing to Oklahoma, dog. Like, fuck out of here, dude. You beat USC. Congrats. You covered against USC. The Trojans, they wear the columns for reasons because they're pussies.
All right. Movie ticket recaps like in Michigan plus 3.5. Chris Comatini like in UCLA. A lot of back and forth here. Huge Anus says Michigan is good. They got a 7-footer who plays like a point guard.
He is. He's nasty.
Yeah. I think under. I think it's going to be a very physical basketball game, but I'm not betting it. But I think under probably after talking about it.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to stick with the 3 official plays that I have. We've covered a lot of this card. Again, I'm taking Bowling Green team total under 73.5 minus 123. Nebraska, Iowa, despite the fact that Iowa can be such a high scoring, bad defensive team. First half under 76.5 minus 112. And I'll throw on Syracuse money line minus 103, even though that's very treacherous. Maybe the first half is the better play. And of course, Billy Brisbane loving the Starling props for the guy who was one of their top players who just returned in their last game. He was out for 7 games. It's not so much that it's just Syracuse. Georgia Tech is a good team, so I don't against this kind of competition. So I don't feel comfortable fading them, but I'll take a shot with it anyway. Probably first half is better. And, of course, live and halftime is something I'll be looking at for that game. And I think that's it for college basketball, right? You guys want to talk about anything else? Let's move on to the college football games.
All right, see you boys about to get on out of here. My 2 officials for this college basketball card was Johnny Broom over 10.5 rebounds. And we didn't talk about this game, but I'm going to use my FanDuel boost on this. Pittsburgh team total under 64.5 at Cameron Indoor tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking of course, again, just very quickly, I know you looked at that game, Billy Brisbane. Of course, Pittsburgh against lesser ranked teams at home where they're like a big favorite. They were getting like 30-point blowout wins. That doesn't necessarily mean they'll have value on the road as a huge dog against, a team like. So I was thinking maybe Pittsburgh first half, but it sounds like you probably would not endorse that.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Like they've gone over in the last 4. This seems like a back down the reality. I said this last year, and I'll say it this year all over again. I think the Duke is the best team in the country. Fuck it. Really? I said it. Duke's the best team in the country.
Wow. Oh, shit. What about Houston?
Iowa State
is the best team in the country, in my opinion.
I think Iowa State.
They're going to push this Cooper flag shit the same exact way they did the Caden Clark shit for women's college basketball. Telling you, get on them Duke Blue Devils. They're one of the best ATS teams in college basketball this year for a reason.
Wow. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of deep teams this year. We'll see. It'll
Yep.
be an interesting tournament. All right, Billy. And then, sorry, we got to get rid of college basketball here. But King Al saying you must don't like BYU -3 Pete that much. No, I did bet that. I'm not saying that's a winner. I'm not even saying it's positive EV, but I did bet it. It looks like the market has moved against me a little bit from what I'm seeing here. Yeah, it's moved up. I got it at 3. It's now down to 2 or 2.5. So what do I know? But I might take a BYU first half as well. We'll see. And I certainly will have my eye out for halftime and live reversals if I think that's worth a shot. But yeah, I did bet BYU. I'm not going to make it official. The line has moved against me.
You want me to recap it real quick, Pete?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lanier, I took the over 3.5 threes, plus 127 is what I got. You can get a better number out there if you shop. Tennessee first half, plus 2.5, minus 107. I took Kentucky in the first half. Like I said, that was minus 125 on the money line. Kentucky full game, minus 2.5, minus 110, and that's it.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to talk about 2 college football games. Dabby motherfucking cab.
Let's go, baby.
College football game semifinals. Notre Dame, Penn State, and Ohio State, Texas. There is one bet that I did make. I'm sure people have all kinds of opinions and stuff about all kinds of angles here. First game we're going to talk about is Notre Dame, Penn State. Okay, line has moved a little bit in Notre Dame's favor. Right, they're now I'm seeing 2.5. I know some advanced analytics like in Penn State. The big knock on Penn State, of course, is they're like, well, they haven't really played any elite competition, and Notre Dame has. So for that reason, people are giving Notre Dame the edge. And I was looking at this. It's looking like the defenses. It's going to be one in the trenches. The defenses for both teams are the strengths. I think the secondary should both have advantages against the receivers for both teams. It should be run heavy, strong defenses. And so I like the under at 45. I bet that. I like the first half under at 21 and a half, something like that. You can't get 24 without paying a big price. But I like first half under and full game under. I could get burned with that, but it just has, low scoring, tight, one in the trenches game written all over it. Low scoring. That's the bet that I made out of these 2 games. The only bet I made so far. First half and full game under Notre Dame, Penn State. As far as the side is concerned, if you gave me a free play on it, I mean, if we had the NFL going, and maybe I will, teasing Penn State up to 8.5 might not be a bad idea. But as far as 2.5, the spread, I honestly don't even know what I would. I'd probably take Penn State plus 2.5. Why not? It's probably a coin flip. But I like the under. Dabby Cab, Notre Dame, Penn State. What do you think, baby?
Man, one of the interesting conversation lines I had Monday on the sesh with the guys on there, we were talking about Freeman. What a job, he's done. Because I'll say this, Georgia, that football game with Notre Dame, Georgia should have been right there. Like it should have been, and they just weren't because they weren't. I know Kirby Smart is everybody's, guy now that Saban's gone, but his team wasn't ready, Pete. I'm just saying how it was. The jumping off sides on that 4th and 1 situation deep in Notre Dame's territory, giving up a kick return on they weren't ready. Notre Dame was ready to play football, and the coaching had them there. I just want to shout out Freeman again. I like Notre Dame a lot. I can't back them here in this spot. I would go under with you. I think you're on the right train of thought right there with the under. Because this is going to be a slugfest. This game's going to be one in the trenches. I kind of give the edge to Notre Dame's defense, and I kind of give the edge to Penn State's offense for what that's worth out of the 4 units on the field. So yeah, it'd be tough for me to take a side here. Maybe the points with Penn State early, but I'm not betting a side. I might go to the under before the game though.
Okay, and I will. I'll just make. It's a little bit concerning that one place that I kind of respect is a little bit juiced to the over, although some other offshore books are juiced to the under. Looking at the market overall, but I'm just gonna take. No, I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm gonna double up. I'll take the full game under 45 minus 104. 45 minus 104. And I think I like the first half, maybe even a little bit better. And that's going to be, get 21 minus 104 or 21 and a half minus 116. I don't know if this is going to be a game with a lot of touchdowns where that 21 is as key of a number as it sometimes would be. So I'm going to take the 21 at -104. First half under 21, -104. Full game 45, -104. Let's see what the comment section has to say about this one. Billy Friedrich says first half under makes sense to me, eliminates any OT, which is of course entirely possible in this one. Yeah, let me see. Torrey Coker teased Penn State and Texas big. Wow. Penn State tease makes absolute sense to me. Texas tease, that is scary, but we'll talk about that in a second because Ohio State can just roll you. But Torrey Coker teased Penn State and Texas big. Nuke Worker, Georgia never had a chance without Beck. Holy shit. Chris Warren taking over 44.5 -110. Okay. Expect the unexpected in games like these, certainly. And Ron Crawford, NCAA spreadsheet played. Oh, he's talking about in college basketball. Okay. Great to see it, though. The Auburn game, Ron Crawford, his play of the day is Texas +10.5 against Auburn. Chris Warren likes Penn State money line +115. Huge anus says, just remember how Notre Dame scored against Georgia. They couldn't move against the Bulldogs. Penn State defense is legit. Yeah, and I mean, Notre Dame, it's that dual threat quarterback who gives them such an advantage offensively, but he has struggled against defenses like Penn State. And also, Notre Dame is, very run heavy, and they have sort of like three guys will gain you a lot of yards. But one of them, though, that guy Love, I don't think he's out. But he's banged up. I know maybe it's nothing, but I have been reading some reports that he's banged up, might be a little bit hobbled or limited. And the style of Notre Dame's quarterback doesn't match up well with Penn State's defense either. So the more I'm talking about it, I don't know. It's just that the market has moved in Notre Dame's favor. It is true that they've, beaten elite teams. Penn State, not as much. Gabby Cab.
Penn State hasn't played anybody, Pete. Come on, man. They got Boise State. I mean, they got SMU. God damn, that's a dream come true if you're Penn State right there to start. And I would say no offense to those other two programs, but I mean offense. Come on, that's the problem. You got that. This is a different game here. This one's tough. I got to bet in the other one, but this one's tough for me as a side.
But Penn State also can only play, they'll come back to that. You can only play who's on your schedule, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's not their fault they got it. That's why I said I'd be happy if I was them in the playoffs. It's exactly what you want, man. It's exactly what you want.
The issue here is that I think that basically Notre Dame's got a big advantage in the secondary, except for Penn State's tight end, right? But the matchup of Notre Dame's secondary against Penn State's receivers is a huge, huge advantage to Notre Dame. But then also, Riley Leonard for Notre Dame, the dual threat stuff that he does has not done well against the type of defenses that has done less well against the type of defenses that Penn State plays, and Penn State plays it obviously at an elite level.
I'll be shocked if there's 3 touchdowns in the first half of this game. I think that first half under you brought to the table right away was where it's at. Yeah.
I definitely like the under more than I bet the under. I'm not going to bet Penn State. Oh, that's how I'm leaning though. That's how I'm leaning. But I won't make an official play.
Because I'm reading in the chat. Yeah, this chat, man. I keep going back to it. A lot of thoughts there in the chat. And it seems like the chat's right there with us. You got people on both sides everywhere. So I think this is a tough one. It's how it should be here.
Yeah, Notre Dame, they have they're going to be at a disadvantage as far as the receivers against Penn State secondary as well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I think
Penn State will probably be able to contain. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The more we talk about it, I just don't see how to draw an advantage for either side here. I just don't.
Okay, well, I have given first half and full game unders as official plays, although Chris Warren liking the over, and that's certainly understandable and defensible. Chris Warren also likes Penn State money line +115, and if I had to give a play on a side, I would take Penn State, and yeah, probably I would throw on the money line instead of the +2.5. Although maybe I would buy up to 3 actually. Okay, now let's move on to the next game. Maybe an even tougher game. The even tougher game. the Penn State game, it's a tough game, but it just seems to me like the lines are the spread is pretty close, and if the game goes according to plan, then it should go under. Although why hasn't gotten bet down, but it's still quite away from game day. Ohio State and Texas. I mean, man, has Ohio State looked elite and unstoppable so far last two games, or just pounded them, right? Offensively, defensively, they change up their defensive scheme, using a cover 2 scheme more that really was successful. And then on the other side, you got Texas needing OT to beat Arizona State as a big favorite. Texas good, Texas great, but Quinn Ewers is not very reliable, not very consistent. He's going to look great at times, but let you down at other times. And if they were playing anyone else besides an elite team in top form, maybe I'd give that a little bit of a pass, or may say it doesn't matter as much. But Ohio State just looks unstoppable. Now, of course, you don't want to have a recency bias here. If you bet on Ohio State, you're buying them super high, which is fine. Sometimes they go even higher. But it is a buy high spot on Ohio State. And who was it that said he teased? Oh, yeah, it was Torrey Coker using Texas in a teaser. That just scares me, because if Ohio State's rolling, they will blow out another near elite team by 20 easily, like they did it to Oregon and Tennessee. What do you think, Dabby Cap?
I think there could be some recency bias in this. I'm not trying to take away from the 41 that Ohio State put on Oregon or the 42 they put on Tennessee. Ohio State's playing outstanding. I mean, they're playing their best football at the right time, and that's what you want, right? I mean, there's so much to be said about hitting stride, at the right time, and that's what Ohio State's doing. But the reason I brought that up off the top is Oregon had their head completely so far up their ass on defense. You would have caught touchdown passes. I would have caught touchdown. They were not within
me, and Jose Bouquet's grandma would have caught touchdown passes.
Literally, Jose might have been able to catch one. I'm telling you, they were lost. They were blowing.
His grandma definitely, and even maybe Jose himself.
Even the announcer, and maybe it speaks volumes to having that week off where the other team played or something, but Oregon's defense was lost, particularly their secondary. I mean, there were plays where they just weren't there. And I'm talking, we're leaving the best player on the field open with 20 yards for the closest defender to him. It made no sense what was going on. So again, I'm not trying to take away, because Ohio State looks great, but there was something wrong with Oregon in that game. And Texas, this defense, even though they went to OT against ASU, this defense can play enough to, I think, keep this game close. I've got a small bet on Texas first half plus 3.5, because this line has moved so much. I just think 3.5 points. I think 3.5 is where maybe the full game should probably be. And so if you're going to give me that in the first half, and Sarkisian's a guy who notoriously years past, I would bet Texas in first half and then fade them in the second half, because he's not a good adjustment coach. So maybe I'll go back to that here with my first bet on Texas first half.
Gosh, it's just even if you look at Ohio State and you're like, okay, they're not really 20 points better than Oregon and Tennessee. They're only 10 points better. That would still make them a great bet at -6 against Texas. It's unbelievable. So I'm sorry, what was your bet? You Texas first half?
Yeah, plus 3.5.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Movie ticket recaps. Ohio State firing like they are in bowl games are fun. Chris Warren says Ohio State looks great, but there is not a talent discrepancy. It will be an execution and coaching. It will be execution and coaching decisions that will determine the outcome.
I do also think that whoever wins this game is in the 30s, and the other team's probably still in the 20s at least. So I do think that we get over this total.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can go ahead and take that official at 33 or 53.5. I'll take the over.
Wow, look at that. Tabby Cab taking that makes sense too. Ohio State will get their points, and Texas will get something, even if it's not necessarily consistently and enough to get a win. 53 minus 112 right now.
I'll take that right there. Let me go see if I can get that.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm not going to copy you, but
man, I don't care. People don't, Pete, I don't sell anything. That's another thing. I don't get up here and you won't hear me try and brag about records or anything. I'll say records and post them, but we're not selling shit here, man. We're trying to win money. That's all that matters. Yeah.
I don't
So if
sell
you like
anything
that,
either.
make it.
The only thing I try to sell is Rybelsus, but I don't get paid for that. I just think you should ask your doctor about Rybelsus because it's what you should do.
Right.
Wow, man. Ohio State. Gosh.
Yeah,
In the meantime, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I can get 53, so that's good.
Chris Comatini loves Ohio State. Wow. Andrew G, big move on Ohio State to win it all now, minus 130. And Kong's Clips, who called the Notre Dame win last week, likes him again when I was thinking, no, I didn't, Kong's Clips, I was just reaching to decide what I would do if I was forced to give a bet, if I had a free bet on the Notre Dame game. But Kong's Clip says Notre Dame by more than 7, 100%. Pete, don't do it. Notre Dame smashes. Wow. And then right after that, Ron Crawford says Penn State for me. Holy crap. Rez Mob says the quarterback of Texas will lose this game. It is a big game for him because he's so upset about what happened last year. And they almost lost to Arizona State. I mean, they pulled it out. Slow Jams Arsenault saying it's a home game for Texas. Yeah, it's not. It's in Arlington, right?
He said Frisco, so maybe it's in Frisco, Arlington. I'm not sure, but yes, it is in Texas. It's in the area.
It's one of those old. It's they have the home state advantage, but
right.
Yeah. It's not in Austin, but
a couple hours away.
Yeah. So there's always debate about how much that actually matters. I mean, the travel in previous years, like a long time ago, mattered. But oh no, right. I'm sorry. It's being played in Dallas. It's in Dallas, right.
It's in Dallas?
It is, right?
Where?
I'm all confused. I haven't even, it's just, wait a minute. What the fuck's going on here?
Hold on. Where's the game actually being played? Like what stadium? That's what I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah. It's a Cotton Bowl in Dallas, right?
Yeah, okay, you're right. Cotton Bowl. Wow.
Oh, they change your shit up so much.
This is it's not a home game for Texas, but they do it every year. This is where the Red River
right.
is played. Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know, man. Holy shit. Let's look at what people in the comment section are saying. On Slips, it's a Texas home game. Con Slips saying Penn State hasn't seen a defense like this. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's true. And like I said, it's a massive advantage for Notre Dame. Their secondary.
Oh, hold on that over. I have to put the bet in. It's cold as fuck here, and there's bad weather coming in too. 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you look into that. Well, yeah, Con Slip saying that. Yeah, it's going to be. That's why I'm liking the under because I also don't like the offensive matchup for Notre Dame. Right. And if that running back Jeremiah Love is banged up, which who knows what the injury, what's really the case, but there are some reports that he's going to be hobbled. It'll
be nasty outside, but I don't think it'll be like there'll be some precipitation and it'll be close to freezing, but I don't think it's going to be cold enough to quite get to freezing. It says the low is 33 and the high is 40, so there's not really much of a range right there. But there is 90% chance of precipitation here Friday.
Chris Warren saying Texas has defensive players to get after the QB.
Listen, everybody in the chat's going back and forth. The Cowboys Stadium and the Cotton Bowl are not the same thing. Okay, if it's at the Cotton Bowl, it's not covered. That's the state where the State Fair is. It's not a stadium. If it's at the Cowboys Stadium, then it's covered and the weather doesn't matter. So some people are saying AT&T. I just read on the Yahoo app it said Cotton Bowl. So you guys, that's important information right there, Pete. They're two different places.
No, wait a minute. Hold on a second. We'll find this out very, very quickly.
Sorry. I just read on the Yahoo app, so Cotton Bowl, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Cotton Bowl.
So then it's outside.
No, but it's being played in Arlington. That's right. I knew it. Right. At 18, it's being played. It's a Cotton Bowl but it's being played at AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
That's confusing as fuck because the stadium at the
it's
fair
I knew it was in Arlington.
is the Cotton Bowl. You understand what I'm saying right now?
Yes.
Never mind. Whatever.
Yes.
That's very confusing. If you know, you know. If not, you're probably like, what the fuck is going on? But that's
it's in Arlington.
That was
It's
unnecessarily
in
confusing.
Arlington.
Okay, got you. Then we're inside. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, this is good, but I am in some contests, and I'd like to make the right decision here. Fair, free play. Would you take Ohio State or Texas, Dabby?
I did. I mean, I took Texas first half. So, and since we're inside, over full game. So I got Texas first half plus 3.5, and then I got over 53 full game.
And Not Flush 16 saying, Pete, I have some props I love. We'll send later today once I wrap up. Yes. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Not Flush 16. All right, it's going to be a pass for me as far as the bet is concerned. In the contest I'm in, which will I take? I don't even know, man. I think you got to take Ohio State, right? How can you not? You trust that quarterback for a full game against an elite defense?
I don't know, but I bet first half, so I don't want to tell you yet. I don't know. I'm not going to give you some fake. No. First half Texas. That's all I'm worried about. Then the over full game. Whoever wins this game is getting in the 30s, and the other team should at least put up, 20, 21, 24 points.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a sloppy ass a preview here.
That was really confusing. I don't know if you fully understand how confusing that was, because there is a place called the Cotton Bowl. There is a stadium. Yes.
Right.
But the Cotton Bowl is the bowl game that
Right.
they're referring it to.
Yeah.
So that got
That's what I
way
mean.
unnecessarily confusing.
I don't understand why people were saying that it was. Yeah. Okay. Regardless, it's in fucking Arlington. All right. We got it. Okay. That wraps up our college football semifinals preview. Dabby Cab is like in. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, you say them? Dabby Cab is like in the over in the Texas game, and also Texas first half plus 3.5. And my only two official plays are going to be the under in Notre Dame, Penn State, and for full game under 45, and the first half under 21 minus 104. What a fun! See, that's why I say, like, no rules, do whatever you want, but there's reasons people have rules because it makes life too chaotic if you don't have rules. I feel you. But it was a great show, Dabby Cab.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Love
All right,
talking
Jose
sport.
Bouquett, you want to drop in here for a second?
Howdy, Pete.
All right. Anything you have any opinions on this? Who do you like in these games? Who do you like?
I don't have any opinions. I hope that Texas wins just to see people down here go crazy. And I would lean Penn State, but those are very uneducated opinions there. I would like to remind everyone we've had Swig's comment pinned on the show the whole day, but the NFL Confidence Pool is happening again this year, 2025 edition of the Confidence Pool. Reminders, everyone will have a video explainer coming out tomorrow or today, but it's just like the bowl season confidence poll rating. There's 16 games. We're doing it with the NFL playoffs again. It'll be $50 to enter, so jump on in. It's a whole lot of fun doing it with a bunch of our friends here. I'll be in it, Jimmy. Hopefully, Pete, you'll be in it, but Confidence Pool back again this year, and it'll be a lot of fun. Signups are available right now. PubSportsRadio.com.
Okay, and some comments. Chase J with it. Yeah, Texas was favored to win it all before the playoffs started and was look-ahead favorite against Ohio State before last week's game. They're just saying. Yeah, but again, Ohio State's success came as a result of some defensive scheme changes that really, really paid off for them. What's going to happen here? Not exactly sure. Hey, where'd Dabby Cab go? He's gone?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry.
All right, that's okay. And then Ron Crawford asking about the prize breakdown for the Cappers contest. Did you get anything for that?
I didn't think you guys needed me anymore. I figured I'd just fuck off. My bad.
It's all right. It's okay. What was the prize pool and who won it?
Yeah, shout out to you, Ron Crawford. Our guy Nunya this year won the Cappers contest. So shout out to Nunya. doing the Lord's work there. Here are all the prize breakdowns. Email us, pubsportsradio@gmail.com. If you're a perfect week winner, if you won one of these payouts as well, not DM us, email us, pubsportsradio.com, and go ahead and create a PayPal, because that is how we pay out, PayPal. So go ahead and do that. But email us again one more time, pubsportsradio@gmail.com.
Very nice. $460 for Ron Crawford. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. He could buy some vintage Aussie vinyl on that. A bunch of
Pete, I hope you wake up every once in a while and thank me that I gave you the first year's Cappers contest. I handed it to you on a silver platter. I hope you think about that every once in a while.
Gave who, me?
Yeah, you.
You missed one pick. Did you? How much did I beat you by? Less than one?
By half a point, I believe.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Wow. Yeah. Hey, no, but that's actually a fucking great lesson, which is that potential and what could happen, and ideas mean nothing without execution. If you could have won the contest, but you didn't click send on your final pick, you may as well not have been able to win the contest in the first place. It's
might as well not have been.
Because everyone thinks that all that matters is what you could do, what your talent is, this and that, and of course that's huge. But then you got to show up. You got to fucking show up. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
If you have like 5 locks in an NFL contest and you don't enter them, you may as well not have had them in the first place. What a great life lesson! It's a hard one. That is a hard one to learn. You're lucky if you get taught that when you're a kid. A lot of people learn it the hard way when they're older. Oh, what a great show! What a fun show! Jose Bouquett. I'm white. Not Flesh 60 says I missed 4 weeks. Or then the flip side of that coin is if you're a 30% handicapper, you may as well just not even send your picks in. That was me in the contest. I mean, not
enter the contest, but don't bother submitting the picks.
Exactly, because it's like your picks are 30% picks anyway. It doesn't.
Yeah, we just need you for the prize pool, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everyone. What a great friggin' show. We got a lot of good advice, a lot of picks. I think overall my picks are going to be okay that we've given out today. Huge shout out to Nutflesh 16. I'll be looking very, very closely, waiting with bated breath on what props Nutflesh 16 is liking for these college football games. I hope that his props are correlated with the under in the Penn State game, because I already did bet that one. Oh, Ron Crawford liking Minnesota in NHL. Wow. And that's the game against St. Louis where there's been like a 40-cent move in favor of St. Louis or something like that. But again, Minnesota has. I'm sorry.
No, he also likes New Orleans as well.
In the NBA, you mean?
Yes.
Wow. Huge shout out to you, Ron Crawford. Congratulations on your 6th place finish. That ain't easy to do.
Ron, by the way, Ron, does the spreadsheet word for the TGL? Does the spreadsheet have the golf league, whatever it's called? Is that in there? Because Bay City is winning tonight.
Bay City, that's right. This will be very, if Bay City rolls, I will be very impressed, and I will give Gogi a huge shout out next week. So great to have Gogi in here every week. Movie ticket recaps. We'll end it on this. T-Wolves -5. It happens today. All right, movie ticket recaps. We'll see. We'll see y'all again next Tuesday, baby.